Hello, everybody. Welcome to StraightA. Dawson here with a brand new series. As you probably already see from the title, we are doing a brand new series. One I've wanted to always do. I love to do on the side, and I love the videos that are created from it. NFL Imperialism. Now, what is NFL Imperialism? Well, before we get to all of that, I want to give a special shout out to Deansworld, way bigger YouTuber, way more talented YouTuber. He came up with the idea of NFL Imperialism. A couple other YouTubers have also done it, but Deansworld is honestly the most impressive when it comes to the content he creates and the way he conveys it. I love his channel, love watching his content, so please go support him. I have a slightly different iteration of how NFL Imperialism works. I mean, it's roughly still the same concept, but to catch you up to speed in case it's the first time you've heard about NFL Imperialism. Before that, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you guys for joining me in this new series. Let me know how you like it and everything. I'm going to do this through multiple different series, but I'll get to that in a second as well. Now, into the rules of NFL Imperialism. NFL Imperialism basically takes a map, and actually, let's go ahead and just show you the map for today. Basically, you take a map of the United States and you put all the teams basically where they were. There's a bunch of different iterations, but basically you kind of put them in their own area. There's little blank map areas. There's of course bordering ones with possible rivalries. And you just kind of put this map and boom. And this different iteration will be Madden 2003, also known as the 2002 year of NFL. So in this iteration of it, or basically using Madden 2003 to determine the NFL Imperialism app and going forward from there. And I plan on doing this with all Madden games from Madden 2003 to Madden 24 and forward as the time goes on. Round 1 will be kind of just my normal NFL Imperialism, and as time goes on, we'll do Round 2, Round 3 with some significant changes maybe. Maybe I'll try to do some power-ups just like Deansworld does. Maybe we'll do accelerated ones. Maybe we'll do something else. Who knows exactly? Maybe no blank territories. Everybody has to have a space. Who knows exactly what I'm going to do with this series. But for now, we have a lot of games to get through from Madden 2003 all the way to Madden 24. And I'm a guy who likes create good quality content, but I'm also a data analytics kind of guy. I'm a marketing guy, so I like seeing data and seeing a bunch of different sample sizes when it comes to it. So we're going to do a bunch of these games and see what teams perform the best throughout all of the Maddens in each round. And maybe even make a world leaderboard. Who knows? It'll be really fun to see. Nevertheless, we're going to do the actual NFL Imperialism. So let's take the NFL Imperialism, for example, and how does that work? So round 1 starts basically with each team. Oop, that's Madden 2003. Oop. That's my backboard. I hope you like it. We take this list of teams, all 32 teams ranked all around. So, of course, there are some different changes here, which we'll refer to in the map here in a second. We spin this wheel, and basically we then say, oh, okay, this team is decided. And let's say in this case it was the what's called Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts have spun. They are landed on. And we now spin an arrow. So we pick an arrow. So we spin this arrow, goes in a direction, and then we follow that direction for the Colts. So let's say it goes west. If it goes west, we are now facing off against the Bears. If it goes south, we are now expanding. 2 of those cases end up being 2 different cases. An expansion for a team would be them claiming that land, expanding their territory, and doing one thing. Basically, the 3 lowest starters on the team will get a +5 attribute increase to their ratings, and that's just to help kind of even out the team, show that we can support their team overall, rather than just giving it to the quarterback or whatever. And that could be to any position. So the starting positions in this game for me will be quarterback, running back, wide receiver 2, tight end, left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard, and then finally center, making the offensive snaps. Oh, fullback will also be in there as well, if I didn't already say that. The defensive lineup will be basically left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, middle linebacker 1, middle linebacker 2, possibly asterisk there, D tackle 1, D tackle 2, asterisk there, depending on whether they run a 4-3 or 3-4 primarily. Will change which one of those positions is actually the primary starter. Either way, then we have cornerback 1, quarterback 2, strong safety, free safety, left end, right end, no particular order. And also the kicker and punter. So those 2 positions, kicker and punter, will count for the +5 attributes from starters because they do marginally help. Now, if the Indianapolis Colts attack the Bears, we'll now have an away game for the Colts at Bears, and basically they'll face off, and the winner basically gets to steal the highest differential player. what does the highest differential player means? So the Bears may have a 99 overall middle linebacker in this game, but maybe the Colts already have an 85 middle linebacker player on the starting roster. They don't really need them as much, so we'll go basically find the position that upgrades them the most. So let's say their left guard is a starting 62, and the Bears have a good 85 overall left guard. The difference between those positions will be the differential that we'll be using. So basically a player position can basically increase the most out of anything. That way it's helping the team as much as possible without just giving them players they don't as much need. And as in addition to them winning the game and gaining a player, they will also get the last two starters, so the lowest two starters on their team, a +5 overall. That's to kind of compensate. Basically, they're taking over territory and defeating a player, so it kind of helps even it out a little bit. So instead of 3, we're just doing 2, since gaining a player usually gives a +20 to +25 advantage. So it kind of evens it out, doubles up the advantage of the expansion. From there, the only other differences there is that quarterbacks, fullbacks, kickers, and punters will be kind of the solidified team captains of their teams, meaning they cannot leave the team. Once a quarterback exists for a team, they're there. They can get increased from the +5 attributes, but they cannot be stolen. Kickers, punters, quarterbacks, fullbacks will all stay on their respective teams as the kind of captains of those teams. Quarterbacks are kind of way too overpowered, plus you'll just be kind of jumping around from the best quarterbacks around and taking them and swapping teams with them for the most part. So that's not really much fun. Fullbacks, kickers, and punters make marginal differences, very small differences compared to a lot of other positions. So we just going to decide to put them on the team and keep them there. And if they do get rolled for the +5 overall, they'll help out marginally with it. But it's important they stay on their team, just because stealing a kicker or a punter is not as much fun as a left guard, a right end, wide receiver, stuff like that. So that's the big differences. Expansions get you 3 +5 attributes to your 3 lowest starters. Defeating a team gets you still a player of the highest differential and lowest 2 attributes added to your 2 lowest starters. And that's essentially it. As you see from this map, we do have a couple logos that are different. Like, wow, I've never seen those logos before. These are all the logos from 2002, roughly. Some of the logos over time kind of change in between seasons, change in the middle of seasons. It gets a little confusing, but I did my best with all the different ones. Also, some notable changes is that the Las Vegas Raiders are currently the Oakland Raiders up until probably Madden 2019, I believe. And the San Diego Chargers will be San Diego for the foreseeable future, 2017, I believe, or something like that, 2018, 2019. And the St. Louis Rams will exist to about the 2017 mark as well. So all of these are kind of in this area. Seahawks have a different logo. Some of the logos are kind of more transparent. They're supposed to have white. They're a little bit transparent just because my editing Photoshop skills aren't very strong. The 49ers also have a slightly different logo. Chargers as well. Cardinals, very different logo. Very childlike. Otherwise, the St. Louis Rams, of course, slightly different tint on the Vikings. The Lions have a very different logo as well up here. Otherwise, the Saints have slightly different tint. The Atlanta Falcons, very different. All the Florida teams down here, very different logos as well for a little bit of time. Panthers as well, very different. The Browns have a slightly different tint. The Bengals have, of course, a very different logo. We have the Washington Redskins. They will not become the Commanders, or the football team, I should say, until about 2019, 2020. So Washington Redskins will be the team representing in this video for the NFL Imperialisms for the foreseeable future. And they basically, any other logos, Jets are slightly different, and that's about it. I did split the states as best as I could, so all of the California states and all the Florida states should be right. Texas should be right. Kansas City versus St. Louis is roughly down the middle like that. Splitting Ohio with Cleveland and Cincinnati, that's the best you can do there. Steelers and Philadelphia, that should be about right there. New York, I split in 3 different sections instead of doing New Jersey as well with the Jets and Giants, since they share it. The actual place that New York City is, where they pretty much represent, basically, is kind of in this little section corner over here where Giants are, so Jets don't share any of it. I did my best. The Giants are an older team, so I gave them that because you can't really split it vertically down the middle here. Otherwise, Washington Redskins kind of control this area, while the Ravens kind of control the other half, roughly. About the best I could do there. And when we roll for the spinning directions, I'm going to take it from as close to the middle of the logo as possible. So basically, the Bears will be like right here, right in the middle of that C. The Rams will be roughly in that end of that curl. Broncos will be like right in the curve of this neck right here. And we'll just kind of take it from there. And I'm going to do my best to make as accurate of directional decisions as possible. Now, we're not finished yet because we are going to look over the teams real quick. Oh, there we go. We're going to look over the teams real quick and just show you. I'm not as familiar with these older teams, so I'm not going to go into depth like, oh, here's who all of these players are. But here's kind of the Bears guy I was talking about, the 96 overall middle linebacker, leading the team here. Bears team, kind of overall fine. It's not the most impressive, but it's also not that bad. Bengals, a little bit weaker of a team overall with the depth-wise. Corey Dillon leading the team here. Reuben Brown leading the charge for the Bills. Also weaker Bills team from this early 2000 series. Broncos, overall decent team, kind of middle of the pack when it comes to things, but the roster is kind of strong, with the highest, of course, being Rod Smith, the wide receiver. Courtney Brown being the highest for the Browns, which are a very strong defense, but their offense is kind of lacking in the regards here. But overall, a fine-ish team that may struggle. Buccaneers, a overall really strong favorite with Warren Sapp leading the defense here, but very strong offense. I believe the Super Bowl winners of this year as well. Kwani Lassiter being the best overall for the Cardinals. A very struggling overall depth team for the Cardinals, though. Unfortunately, the Chargers, San Diego Chargers, of course, very, very impressive, strong team overall. Some weaker on the depth issues, but still very strong. Chiefs, kind of the same case there. A little bit more on the upper half. They're really good, but then they get into real big depth issues. Tony Gonzalez being the leading overall for this team here. Technically with the right guard. Who was the right guard's name? Will Shields. Well, the Colts, very impressive offense with a very lacking defense. Peyton Manning, of course, is the quarterback here, with Marvin Harrison being the leading wide receiver and leading overall for that Colts team. Cowboys, also a very mediocre team. You know, we know them as a pretty good team overall. But in this case, Larry Allen is their highest with a 99 overall. But otherwise, they're kind of a struggling depth team. Sam Madison is the leading person for the Dolphins here with a very impressive kicker, by the way, with Olindo Mayer. So they'll not be struggling in that department. But overall, they're also struggling from some depth issues. Dolphins are an overall okay team in this game, but not too great. Brian Dawkins and the Eagles, a very impressive team, very good top-heavy. They really don't have as many depth issues as a lot of these other teams. The Eagles are going to be a strong contenders for this game as well. The Atlanta Falcons, very weak team in this game. Really, I mean, they don't have anything. They're kind of middle of the pack in terms of overall, if that. 49ers are actually a very top-heavy team as well, very impressive overall, with Jeff Garcia at their quarterback line there. But Terrell Owens is their leading wide receiver there. Michael Strahan is about the only good thing for the New York Giants in this game. Outside of that, they suffer from really big depth issues. Jimmy Smith for the Jacksonville Jaguars, still young Jacksonville Jaguars team. Very kind of up and coming still struggling from a lot of depth issues as well, especially not having as those star players on board. Then you have Kevin Mawau. I'm going to get a lot of hate for the way I pronunciated that name. But the Jets are overall a better team than the Giants, definitely, but still kind of just a little bit middle of the pack, maybe a little above average. Then moving on to Robert Porcher of the Lions. Lions are not a very good team back here. It's very little to really talk about there. Brett Favre is actually the highest overall QB in this game, I believe, and the highest overall on the Packers. Very impressive team, especially offensively. Defensively, they could use a little bit more work, but not too bad at all still. Meanwhile, the highest overall for the Panthers is Todd Soderbrun, the punter. After that's Wesley Walls for the Panthers. They have not very good team here for Madden 2003 as well. Gonna struggle a little bit. But the Patriots have more of a kind of middle of the road team. You would expect them kind of they're kind of starting to get the gears rolling with Tom Brady at their QB at the helm there. But they're still suffering from, and it's an early Tom Brady for one, but they're still suffering from still building the team a little bit. Their defense is still pretty impressive, but they're still building it overall. So it's not the juggernaut that we know them as today. Raiders, probably another one of the strongest teams in this game. Very, very top heavy when it comes to a lot of these things. A lot of 80 overalls, and this team is not going to be suffering on their offensive line as well as their offense in general. And their secondary is even pretty good, with Charles Woodson being the lead player on the overall team for Raiders. Marshall Faulk, really big, dominant player for the Rams, are going to do really great, with Kurt Warner actually tying Brett Favre, I believe, for the highest QB overall. Forgot about Kurt Warner. He's actually in his prime right now in basically in NFL. So, and this Rams team is also a very impressive team who can probably take out a lot of these teams and really advance their momentum into the NFL Imperialism. Speaking of momentum and imperialism, Ravens, with Ray Lewis at 99 overall, is also kind of a stronger contender with their top head, kind of really carrying them a little bit, but kind of suffers from some depth issues quite quickly is the problem the Ravens really find themselves in. While the Washington Redskins actually have a pretty good defense overall with Champ Bailey leading the helm of the team. Other than that, the depth gets really bad really quick. With this New Orleans Saints, they suffer from a very mediocre team. Nothing really too bad, nothing really too good. Kyle Turley is the leading guy there, but lots of 80 overalls. Just kind of gets into the higher 70s for a little bit, and then from there, not as impressive. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks, again, same thing as New Orleans Saints for a little bit. Sean Springs, the leading corner and leading player on this team, but overall, they're just a mediocre team who does all right. Alan Faneca, or Faneca, whatever, is the leading guy here in the Saints, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 93 overall. And the team is just fine. It's good. It's actually probably the more well-rounded teams in this Madden 2003 game. Meanwhile, we have a very new, what's called the Houston Texans. If you're wondering why I started at Madden 2003, the Houston Texans became a team for the first time in 2002, meaning Madden 2003 was the first time they were an actual team, but a very bad team very quickly because 94 overall. Tony Boselli is the highest overall person, and it gets right into the 70s and 60s real quick after that. After that, Javon Curse, Tennessee Titans team that's kind of suffering on the downhill spiral of their career. But still kind of a strong contender here. Javon Curse is the leading player here on the Tennessee Titans. Well, Randy Moss, no surprise here, is the leading overall here in the Vikings. And an overall okay team with the Vikings, but it gets bad real quick when you look after the first page into 79 and 78s. But they don't get too much in the 60s until they get to the a little bit lower half of their starters. So we'll see what they can do. Here kind of just some notable, not free agents, but the notable players. Ray Lewis, Marshall Faulk, Michael Strahan, Larry Allen, and Warren Sapp are the 599 club players with quite a few 98s, quite a few 97s. And then, of course, the QBs. We'll kind of look at them since they're usually the most important positions. Whoops, that's the wrong direction. I'm still learning how to use this emulator. That's another thing. I'm using the PCSX2 emulator, I believe, for this, and I'll be using some other emulators for some of the later games, kind of in the middle of the Xbox 360 era. But I will be purchasing as many as I can to basically record and develop on PC. So just kind of a heads up there. As well, by the way, I don't get paid for making videos, so I don't really care as much about copyrighted music or anything. So I have it very low, so you can still hear me. But to just kind of make that known, I'll go through the settings here in a moment too. Real quick, the start here is going to be really, really long. Or not as long, but whatever. Looking through some of the QBs, this is some of the QBs that are kind of in the game. In case you're kind of curious, Michael Vick for the Falcons, Kerry Collins, kind of funny. Vinny Testaverde, I forget about him all the time, a little bit older career here. But, that's pretty much all the big shots here in this game. Rich Gannon, Donovan McNabb. Kurt Warner, Brett Favre, of course, being the big names here, while Jeff Garcia, Donovan McNabb, and Peyton Manning are right behind them, with Rich Gannon even heading up the helm there. Otherwise, I think that's everything I wanted to cover in terms of the setup. Besides settings, I'm going to show you the settings I have set up here for gameplay and stuff like that. Game, 8 minutes, all Madden, injuries on, pre-existing off, game fatigue, Madden challenge, random weather. I'm actually going to turn off. I'm not going to really worry about that as much. I'm just going to keep all the weather kind of as a stable element throughout all these games for now, at least in the first round. Subs and all that's at these settings, passing modes on, remember formation on, whatever. I'm not going to be playing, but here's where all the penalties, sliders are on. AI, this is where they're going to be at. I mean, here you go. I'm not really playing in this one, so it doesn't really matter. Easy play is going to be off, so I'm not going to look at that. Otherwise, it's all of that done and over with. Features, I think I covered everything on roster-wise, right? Yeah, boom. In game mode. So we'll now just be in the play now mode. Just some cool little notes I want to make here. Whoops, that's a randomize button, but don't worry about that. On the R1L1, it's really cool to see that you can actually go back in the past teams here. Just something I want to note for NFL Imperialism. By the way, I really hate how big that the soundtrack thing is. But you can basically find some old teams and be like, hey, we're going to play against some historical teams here, and that's kind of actually really cool to see. But we're not going to be doing that. It's kind of a little note I want to use that. I am using the regular rosters for all these teams. And I'll be basically choosing this. For the top one will be the attacking team. The bottom one will be the defending team. And we'll go from there. All these rosters should reflect accordingly into the exhibition maps. And that will be that. So, meanwhile, we'll cut to the very first round of NFL Imperialism to get things underway. And here we are, guys, with the very first spin of NFL Imperialism, Madden 2003. Very excited. A little side note, just in case it may come up in terms of anything I might change on the fly. I did already kind of record an NFL Imperialism, but I realized I probably should record these in chunks, instead, in chunks for my video files, rather than just going one straight and editing it, because I don't want to lose anything in between. So I do have a set, technically something. I've done a couple of these matchups already. Didn't get very far at all. Only got to 3 games, I think. So we're all good there. But the New Orleans Saints are our very first team in NFL Imperialism to basically play. So we're about to see, where will the New Orleans Saints go. They will go kind of, east, but a little bit down, southeast. So a little bit southeast there. See where they are. So we're going to take from about the middle here, and they'll easily go into an expansion here today. So the very first change, or very first spin for them, will be an expansion. Just going to double check my work here. Yeah, that's pretty much dead on. An expansion, no need to worry there. So I'm going to do this real quick. And boom, look at that. New Orleans Saints are expanded into a new territory. And so now I'm going to upgrade their 3 lowest starters with +5 attributes. So the New Orleans Saints had their right guard upgraded, as well as the left end and right outside linebacker, I believe. Yes, right outside linebacker. All upgraded to the 70s now. So now their lowest overall is in the 70s. I did have a tie between the fullback, kicker, left outside linebacker, and the left end. I decided the most important one of those for this team is the left end to upgrade. So I just made the call there. But it shouldn't matter too much with the overall changes. But the Saints are looking a little bit better now with their expansion. But we still have to find a team to play another team in this game. Or in this round, I should say. By the way, that's another important thing I should note. A round only ends for, basically for my sake and for y'all's sake. Round only ends when a team has been played, both teams have played, or a game has been played and a team has been eliminated and all the changes have been made. Round 2 will then start from there. Just as a little kind of continuity thing if you want to keep up with that good stuff. But we still got to roll for another team. Once you kind of expand, you don't have to roll again until you find a matchup. You can just kind of keep on going. But we have Tennessee Titans going somewhere. I think they mostly have expansions around them. I believe, let's see where they're going. Kind of southeast, a little bit more south than east. But let's see where they're going. Ooh, it's going to be close. So what I'm going to do for close ones like this, I have a pencil. It's a really big mathematical pencil that's going to calculate the trajectory of all these teams and kind of help me make the most educated scientific guess of where these are going to be. I'm totally not going to use an actual physical pencil to actually determine this by putting it up to my monitor and roughly guessing where that's going to be. And instead, I'm going to use a trajectory thing. But just trust me, I will make the call. And if you hate my calls, then throw a flag on the field and make a comment down below. But either way, I get to kind of decide this today. But I'll make this call here in 1 second as I measure, because this is pretty close, so I'm going to kind of make a proper guess here. So using my mathematical formula, I have determined that it is an expansion. It's pretty close, but the Tennessee Titans are expanding instead of actually attacking Atlanta Falcons. Pretty close, but I think it's still kind of safe. So that's roughly where the Tennessee Titans will be for the next matchup or next round, but whatever. We now have to go increase the bottom 5 or the bottom 3 starters for the Tennessee Titans now. The Tennessee Titans received a +5 to their left guard, right outside linebacker, and their strong safety, making a better overall team, but they're still in the higher 60s, so they probably need a couple more expansions before they can comfortably kind of say they're into the game a little bit. So either way, we still have to roll again till we get another matchup for this round. So we've just got an expansion, so let's see how many we can really keep on going. St. Louis Rams are up next. Let's see where they're going. They could have a matchup, I believe, right here, right now. Where they go? Ooh, a little bit more northwest-ish. So that will be close again. I will do my calculations here, but I do believe we do have our first matchup here today. I'm going to quickly do it, but it's going to be close. Well, guys, we do have a decision. It did expand over here into Iowa, so the St. Louis Rams will be expanding. For the 3rd time, our team has expanded this round, so lots of expansions already going on. People are just getting prepared for war, it seems like. So it was pretty close, but actually it was almost closer to the Bears than it was to the Chiefs. I guess the slant just kind of threw me off a little bit, So the Rams, already a strong contender in this matchup, does the expansion and really bridges that gap between the Chiefs and the Bears here. So St. Louis Rams will also get a +5 attributes added to their 3 bottom starters. The Rams had a +5 to their right tackle, left outside linebacker, and D tackle, making only one player below the 70 mark for their overall team, which is pretty dang good start for the St. Louis Rams here. But we still have to find a first matchup in round 1. We still need to eliminate a team. So I don't know when this is going to happen. We've already made some changes here, so I believe the Detroit Lions have no choice but to fight somebody. I believe it's either Chicago Bears or the Green Bay Packers or something like that. But they're going directly right, which I don't believe technically will hit the mark here for anything. They can face the Colts and the Browns, but they can't face the Bears. They can't face the Vikings, even though they can technically receive them. They have to be bordering on a physical surface here. So, yeah, even though they pretty much hit the Bills there, can't really hit them. So they have to either go directly south or kind of west. So we'll keep on rolling until we get that again. Let's see. Oh, okay. This one might be a little bit closer. Let's see. Kind of get this a little bit lined up and see if I'm just kind of mistaking this, which pretty much directly left. I mean, again, they border it, so I'm going to count this little lake as ability of them hitting. So the Lions are going to go to face off against the Packers. I will confirm that real quick in my quick eye, which actually I do probably need to actually measure this. Give me 1 second. It does pretty easily hit the Packers still, so we are going to have our first matchup with Lions at Packers. A quick note, I love how they have like these little rebuild teams that you can use. The NFL alumni, won all Madden, the Galaxy Fire. I don't know, it's all kind of cool. Just as a little change up, just kind of to show it off. Because again, this game actually has a lot of cool features that I'm kind of surprised aren't in other games, or at least not as prominently shown in other games, which I guess are replaced by more modern versions of themselves, like Mutton, all of that good stuff. But we will have the Lions at Packers. Don't worry, I won't be playing any of these games, but the Lions have a distinct disadvantage at 68 overall compared to the 84 overall of the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see who ends up winning, because this could be a big win for the Lions or a big loss for the Packers. Well, that same thing there, but either way. We'll move on. Just to show I'm not be playing it. Boom. Oh, I can readjust their defenses. They're 4-3s, which are pretty much all D tackles. I'm pretty sure almost every team in this game has 4-3, so whatever. We'll move on. But I will see you guys when something notable happens, probably near the end of the game. I'll kind of watch the drive near the end if it's a significant drive by down one score or something like that. But if it's not really that interesting, I'll kind of just do it right at the end or something like that. So see you guys in a second. So we're back, and it's pretty much over. Detroit Lions are going in for a 2-score right here. Slightly still a chance for the Packers to win. They have to score real quick and then recover an onside kick. If they were a little bit smarter, they would have actually done this a little bit better. But it looks like we're about to have an upset with the Detroit Lions beating the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to speed this along. As we're kind of... If they ever kick it, there we go, finally. I was like wondering if they were actually going to kick it. So it is a 2-score game now. So the Packers in 38 seconds have to not only score real quick, but also then recover an onside kick, because I believe most of their timeouts, they at least use 1 or 2. So Packers are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. But this is actually a big win for the Detroit Lions and a big loss for the Packers. A couple things I wanted to go over is that there's no Super Sim in this game, so I just used the emulator's fast forward feature. Again, I use this emulator PCSX2. And then I'm going to use different emulators for some of the middle-aged games of 360 and stuff like that. The AI in this game is not the best, I'll be honest with you. It's probably, in some ways, it's honestly probably up to par with Madden 24 and stuff like that in certain regards, in terms of the Super Sim in this regard. And I also turned off commentary and just kind of kept in the ambient sounds. Like I said, I don't really care about copyright since I'm not making any money from this, so we're going to use like any music from the whole game just to use it, just to kind of feel it out. But like I said, with 16 seconds remaining here, Green Bay's pretty much over with. I mean, they have to do 2 big plays if they want even a shot here, but now they're out of timeouts. Well, does injury timeout not actually happen? Oh, last play, 39-30 is the last score of the game. The Detroit Lions just upset the Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre, the highest rated QB. Remember, we cannot trade QB, so Brett Favre is out of this race completely. Congratulations to the Detroit Lions. They also got a safety, which honestly helped them there at the end, too, because the Packers would just be playing for a tie then at that point, at least to go to overtime at the very least. So, congratulations to the Detroit Lions. They get to steal a player and get their 2 lowest overall starters, a +5, to add to the record. But the Detroit Lions may be kind of going up and up a little bit. So I'll see you guys in a second as we make an update to the board and to the actual players at hand. In a very weird turn of events, Bubba Franks is actually the highest differential person on the Green Bay Packers going to the Lions. This is very rare, but the starting tight end for the Packers is only 83 overall, with a bunch of other big overalls of 94, 92, 92, 87. The tight end is the 5th highest non-QB, non-fullback in the sort of the fifth highest non-QB, non-fullback overall player on the Packers. But the Lions currently have a 55 overall tight end at the starting position. And even if you added the +5 to, so if you did it in a different order, like a +5, and then take the best player differential, which would actually statistically I think be worse. I don't know that for sure on top of my head, but it sounds like it would be worse, at least. Saying that with no factual evidence at all now. So lost all my credibility. But that's the point. I think it'd be a better differential. That way you get the most benefit from your lowest player, and then you get the +5 to the next lowest player. That's the kind of logic I use. But then again, who knows? I may be just dumb. Beside the point. So Bubba Franks is actually the Packers tight end or Packers player that's going to the Lions to continue on playing, and it will be accepted. Luckily, cap room doesn't really matter in this game either. But otherwise, we're actually just going to go and look through the Lions players now. The players getting the attribute upgrades is the left outside linebacker and the left guard of the Lions as well. So a little bit overall, just kind of increasing the team and saying, hey, you know what, maybe some benefits will come from all this. Who knows? So the starters have kind of gotten their placements, and the tight end is now firmly on the Lions roster, which gives them even more weapons and makes them kind of a contender now, with Joey Harrington being the main guy here. Look at that swag guy, rookie. Look at that. He totally does not turn out to be not a good player in the future. Who knows? Well, with that said, the Packers are gone from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the Lions are taking over. Whoops, I didn't do all of this at the same time. Well, there we go. I know how to use Ink Stripe or whatever this app's called. Inkscape, that's what it's called. Boom. And we're going to center them right here in the middle of everything. Kind of keep them in the middle of the whole lakes area. Which actually we're going to make him decently big since he's covering a pretty good margin ground. Gonna put him like right there. Look at that. Pretty little line right there. Taking over the first ever territory. And that means the Green Bay Packers shall be eliminated wherever they are. Boom, advanced mode. I actually got to go and find where they are now. Goodbye, Green Bay, Wisconsin Packers. You are now gone. Link with color, blah, blah. We are now going to probably should shuffle these a little bit too. Oh, well, shuffle. Boom, boom, boom. And you know what? We're going to spin again because we need to find another matchup to move on from round 2. Baltimore Ravens. Sorry, the black threw me off there for a second. The Baltimore Ravens. Ooh, they could have a matchup right here. I believe actually the only matchup they could have, a little bit south, basically. Whoops, wrong one. Will be, they could expand, which, give me a second to figure out some stuff here. So weirdly enough, we actually have an interesting call here, because again, I forget that this little piece right here is actually part of Virginia. So I'm going to give it to them because this is technically bordering Virginia. It's an unusual case here, but I mean, it is the case either way. And so Ravens kind of have this weird little ground here where they will kind of be more in the middle, I guess. It's weird, but you know what? It makes sense when you think about it. So we're about to expand for the Baltimore Ravens. So that is the Baltimore Ravens. I kind of just made them as middle ground as possible between that. And by the way, just in case why you're wondering why the Baltimore Ravens don't have like a certain part of it, or why I didn't give like Washington Redskins just a part of it. Since Washington D.C. is not really a state, I kind of just excluded it and just kind of put the Washington Redskins as their part of Washington D.C. and put the Ravens in their own little part. So, it's fine. It'll work out. But we have to get the Ravens their +5 attributes. The Ravens had quite a bit of a jump up with their 50s because all three of the players were originally 57, 57, 56 for right outside linebacker, left guard, and their fullback. Which I've thought about it too. In this game, the fullback actually gets more involved in the pass blocking game, and a little bit in the passing and rushing game. So it's actually not too bad of a attribute to really give up. But the Ravens, depth-wise, are hurting a lot more than I imagined because they still have several players in the low 60s, aside from the 3 players that got upgraded. So we'll see how the Ravens really do. They really need some big upgrades for their team. But nevertheless, we still need to roll on and find a matchup for this round. And it will look like the Miami Dolphins, who I can't remember exactly where they are placed, but they have no choice but to face off against the Buccaneers. So we are having a guaranteed matchup with the Miami Dolphins heading to Tampa Bay to face the Buccaneers. And this matchup is pretty much over. Miami's up 33-20. Tampa Bay's 23. Miami has the ball. Tampa Bay turned it over. They could have done something, but Miami's about to run out this clock, and Miami's about to take home this victory, 33-23. With no surprise here, Warren Sapp is the highest differential, with 41 points being some of the highest we've seen. But Miami runs a 2D tackle offense or defense, meaning Miami's run game or run defense is going to be pretty good with their D tackles now being stacked up with Warren Sapp. Either way, boop, got to add him, proceed, boom, it's accepted, gone through. Now we also got to upgrade the actual people for the Miami's bottom two offensive starters, or the starters in general. Meanwhile, Miami's tight end and the strong safety go up both from 61s to 66s, meaning this Miami team is actually looking really good overall. They have a pretty solid overall team. I mean, they've gotten starting to fill out some of the weakness points of their team. Another interesting point is the Buccaneers did win the 2003-2004. Did win the 2003-2004. No, sorry, 2002-2003 season, Super Bowl. So Buccaneers were technically in this game the Super Bowl champs that year. So Miami just dethroned them. The previous winners of previous matchup of the Rams and Patriots are still in, and of course the Oakland Raiders also went this year during this game's timeline. So that's also pretty interesting. But Dolphins knocked them off in the second round, so that's really impressive for them. But we do have to mark them so we can expand their territory into the Buccaneers. Lots of blue on this map as Miami also, kind of takes over Florida. Lions are taking over a state. Tennessee took over an extra state. A lot of blue in that eastern, but we haven't seen much from the west or even southwest region. So we'll have to see and continue as we go into round 3 and spin for the next team. But we do have to get rid of the Bucks first. We're the Buccaneers here on this. Oh my gosh, why is my mouse acting so funny? Boom. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are gone. We now spin once again to find our next team up on this docket. Who is up next? Seattle Seahawks. Looks like I think they can only expand. So this may be a boring-ish round, but we're going to see. They go basically northeast. Had to check real quick, but I just wanted to make sure Seattle did hit Idaho, and it is pretty obvious. So Seattle does pick up the +3 or +5 attributes to the 3 lowest starters, and Idaho, of course, too. But the Seattle Seahawks, they get marginal upgrades. They do get their kicker from a 53 to a 58, so that helps them out a little bit. Meanwhile, the right guard goes from 66 to 71. And then we do have a right tackle who was tied with a tight end that decided to give the advantage over the tight end just because their weapons were good and the offensive line just needed a little bit more help. So give the right tackle a little bit of edge, take him from a 71 to a 76. Seattle Seahawks get a nice little upgrade. And the map gets a little bit weirder with the Seattle Seahawks, kind of getting this little weird middle ground going because I kind of want to keep them as much in between as possible. Maybe move them a little bit down right here. Kind of keep them as much in the middle as possible. So, whoops. Well, it'll be fun enough. But we still have to spin again because we still don't have our matchup for round 3 just yet. And we're going to see who does as the... Oh, can we get a repeat? Tennessee Titans will be repeating, and they'll be spinning the action to see where they're going now. They're going about northwest now. Ooh, that's going to be close. Let me kind of get my detective math skills on. Unfortunately for us, but fortunately for the Tennessee Titans, they are actually just expanding into Kentucky because they just narrowly missed playing the Rams. It's actually a little bit more clear than I thought it would be. So we're going to expand them into Kentucky into this little now middle ground area. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans just moved from their left guard D tackle and right outside linebackers, all from 68s all the way up to 73s. So good little boost there to just overall team. Wow. If we move over back to the map, you see I made the adjustment a little awkward, but Tennessee's about right there. I guess you could argue maybe a little bit more further down. Boom, more like that. I like the center mass right there though. So we'll just do that. It's roughly about right. Keep them right in the middle, right in Tennessee, the heart of Tennessee still. But we still, again, have to spin more and more until we get our third round matchup, which lots of expansions, which is good for a lot of teams, but also bad for us as viewers. Dallas Cowboys will be going. They have a chance to face off against the new Houston Texans for this team, but more like a northwestish. From there, ooh, it's going to be close whether it even makes the cut there. So let's find out if it does. Give me 1 second. It goes off into the to Mexico or the water or something. So we're going to go a little bit northwest here to basically get right smack dab to an expansion point. That way we don't have to worry about the Mexico or water or whatever actually Dallas hit. So we have another expansion. So, man, teams are just getting prepped for war is what it really looks like here. The Cowboys had a little bit of unlucky spout with the kicker being a 53 overall, so moving up to a 58, but increasing the kick power and accuracy is pretty nice. While the right guard and cornerbacks were also kind of upgraded. Right guard from a 64 to a 69, corner from a 66 to a 71 here. And of course, we have them taking over the territory over here in Texas, or not necessarily Texas, but kind of expanding up and making themselves a little bit bigger to really show people what the Lone Star State is capable of and can do. So we have a really awkward map right now, so hopefully we can finally get a matchup here very, very soon, because we've already had Seattle, the Titans, and now the Cowboys all expand this round. So, maybe Dallas Cowboys again? Dallas Cowboys will be rolling again. Maybe this time they're prepping and actually ready for war. This time they're moving pretty much straight east. So we're about to see. Oh, nope, they're expanding again. So that will be a pretty easy change, but the Cowboys expand twice in a row. Believe pretty much. Yeah, it's north. I mean, if it's anything, it's northeast-ish. So like, yeah, it hits Arkansas. So nice. Cowboys with their second expansion have now upgraded their teams another time with the kicker, right guard again, both receiving +5, now making him a 63 and a 74 respectively, and then finally getting the D tackle in some action, going from a 69 to now the 74. So the Cowboys are really making themselves stronger. You know, they were in that mid-tier team, but they might just be making themselves strong enough to take on some other hardcore teams. Luckily, they're still in a pretty good spot on the map-wise. But again, we've had 4 expansions, two with the same team, the Dallas Cowboys, in a row, mind you. So let's see who else is next. Seattle Seahawks, once again. Will they actually, I don't even remember if on the map they really have a matchup they can really do. They're going straight north. Well, actually, technically does maybe work. Boom. Let's see. I'm going to kind of do my actual scaling here to see if anything actually does work for them. Going from the middle of the actual logo, it just misses the actual expansion, but that may do it. Seattle finally does make a nice little square here to finally kind of expand once more. So the Seattle Seahawks will also receive +5 to the 3 lowest starters and attributes wise. with this expansion with the Seahawks, they got their kicker from a 53 to a 58, or sorry, 58 to a 63. Respectable numbers now. The right guard and tight end go up from 71s to 76s, making an overall better team with the Seahawks. Seahawks, along with the Cowboys, going from that mid category up to possibly a contending team with some of these holes being filled. So we'll see what happens. All right, I'm kind of counting on this to be a matchup with our next spin. We have the Washington Redskins or 49ers. Redskins will be going next. Where will they be going? Where will they be going? And nobody knows. Pretty much straight up north. That's pretty much straight north. That's going to be the Washington Redskins at the Philadelphia Eagles. There's no question about that in my mind at all. We have a matchup, fellas. So we have a slight amendment, and I'm going to concede something here. I did play the game of the Redskins and the Eagles, and when I came in here to basically swipe out the Redskins from the map here because the Eagles did take a victory, I then zoomed in and realized the Redskins actually. Remember how I said no questions pretty much about it just a second ago? It's actually a big question because it technically does hit the Baltimore Ravens here because I made it a more diagonal slant, not a more vertical or horizontal slant. So actually, I'm going to repeat this and watch the Redskins get a second chance from me because I just kind of sat back and relaxed or whatever. But it'll actually be the Redskins at the Baltimore Ravens. Again, it wasn't a valid game against the Eagles, so I made take all the changes away that I did make, and Redskins get a second chance at life facing off against the Baltimore Ravens, also a strong team. But the Eagles lined up were really, really strong, so we'll see what happens from here because the Eagles do have a very strong team. The clock is ticking down. Washington tried to do 3rd and 4. Now they're at 4th down, down 20 points, so basically 3 scores. It is pretty much over from here. It's all over but the crying. It looks like they're even punting. Or is this a fake punt? I'm actually kind of curious now. I'm actually kind of vested. Nope, it is not. It's actually a fair punt, and now Ravens are just going to kneel it down. End the game. Ravens won 37-17. So the Redskins got their second chance. Definitely didn't utilize it, so just differed from the team that beat them. Oh well. Thank you, Baltimore Ravens. 37-17, final score. So almost no surprise here. Champ Bailey will be going to the Baltimore Ravens from the Washington Redskins. Wasn't anything really else really close. The corners now for the Ravens are going to be freaking really good. So really, Champ Bailey is going to be brought into Baltimore, and we get to increase 2 of the lowest overall players from the Ravens +5. Baltimore's run a 3-4, so their second middle linebacker actually goes up 5, along with actually the starting D tackle as well. Really strengthening that defense. A lot of strong points for that Ravens team, but there's also a couple weak points that could bring them down. but they maybe could use another expansion or two that may just get them ahead. But now they take over the complete area over here, and we will now be moving on to our next spin. I mean, this is kind of exciting looking at the state of the board so far. I think we got 3 teams removed total. So that is kind of cool. A lot of expansions made, especially in this middle area. So it's a war zone come over here, but there's still a lot of West Coast type of areas. Jets, Patriots, maybe Giants can kind of take over some territories in the Northeast. But it's kind of looking interesting with how big the territories are kind of getting already. So let's go ahead and spin after we get rid of the Washington Redskins. Wow, that rhyme? Wow, look at me go. Get rid of them. Spin another one because now we are down them. So Eagles didn't take them out, but the Redskins did, or the Baltimore Ravens did, in a not even close game. So Eagles actually struggled more. Speaking of the Eagles, we're actually going to go to Philadelphia to see where the Philadelphia Eagles are going to go, which is basically southwestish. Boom. So ooh, now this is going to be a close one. I believe it's going to be Baltimore and Philadelphia head to head. It looks like, but I'm going to measure here real quick. It is undeniable. The Eagles will be going to Baltimore and facing off against the Ravens, and matchup the Ravens maybe more prepared for now. Eagles do have a strong team in this game, but so do the Ravens now, and we're going to see how well this matchup can actually go, with the Ravens being our first team to go into 2 matches, and back-to-back nonetheless. So good luck to both these teams. Let's catch you guys near the end of the game. And here we are in the last 15 seconds of the Philadelphia-Baltimore Ravens game. It's 15 seconds left. Baltimore can still score here, but then they have to recover an onside kick. So pretty much over, but it's still not over till it's over. So let's see what they do here on the last play. Hold up, maybe. Oop. Speed this up now. Oh, nope. 11 seconds. So they still can probably get off 2 more plays, roughly. But they also have to recover it and then get him within field goal range, all within 11 seconds. Which is not easy. So it's pretty much over, but they're crying. But let's see. Nope, swatted away. Pretty much making this almost impossible now. 2 more plays left, roughly. We'll see. Maybe the onside kick will be close enough for a field goal to put them in overtime, but let's see. Snap the ball. Do get a touchdown. 4 seconds remaining. Going for the extra point. Then going for the onside kick, I'd imagine, with 4 seconds remaining. No timeouts, I know that. So let's see. First they gotta make the onside. They gotta make the extra point first. Boom. Let's see. It is gonna be an onside kick. I'm sure, at least. Onside kick recovered by the Philadelphia Eagles with 1 second remaining. They'll kneel it, and the final score is 23-20. With no surprise at all, Ray Lewis will be going to the Philadelphia Eagles as the best differential person, and the center and right guard got +5. Upgrades, making the center a 67 and making the right guard a 72. So really good, really big game for the Philadelphia Eagles here, and big win for them indeed. There we go. The Eagles have now taken over the Ravens territory all over there on the East Coast now. So the map is already looking, kind of interesting here, but we gotta still move on to finding the next matchup here. Now let me go ahead and get rid of the Ravens. It doesn't really help that none of these colors really match, which I don't know why they don't. But I don't make the rules here. I just get rid of teams. So boom, we spin the wheel once again for the next team. Next team up will be, we get the St. Louis Rams once again. They will be going. Let's see where they will be matching up with, which would be kind of southeastish a little bit. So, gonna be a good one here. Let me kind of measure this out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you'll not believe me, but the Rams threaded the needle right over here, clipping this little piece right here from about the middle of the Rams, like little curl there. It clips Arkansas, just barely missing Tennessee. So we could have a very awkward we're gonna have a very awkward territory no matter who wins here between the Cowboys and Rams. But we have a matchup nevertheless between the St. Louis Rams heading to Dallas against the Cowboys. So at this point, it's 27-20. The Rams are just now kneeling it. I was actually about to record part of the drive, but then a fumble happened. I was like, okay, well, now the Cowboys lost the ball, so the Rams had it. Then the Rams fumbled it, and the Cowboys had it. Or something like that. Cowboys had it. I don't know. Some fumbles happened and almost made the game close, but in the end, it is now 27-20. Rams have the ball and are going to win 27-20. Will not get to punt it. There's some interesting stuff, like I said, that happened with some fumbles, but Cowboys fumbled it. Rams then fumbled it. Cowboys had it. Cowboys didn't get within range, so they punted it. Something along those lines. It was not as interesting as I thought it'd be. in terms of the ending scheme. But either way, the Rams did take home the victory, 27-20, meaning they get the benefits of the best Cowboys player. No surprise, with 99 overall on your team, more than likely they're going to get traded over to your team when you win. So making the offensive line of the Cowboys even better, the Rams even better. Bring on Larry Allen. Boom, accept the trade, making the Rams looking really, really good. They're already a favorite, but their team is getting more and more stacked. That was the wrong button. Getting more and more stacked as time goes on. The lowest overall is like a 74, and in terms of starters. But like their team has now got 299s with Larry Allen and Marshall Faulk, with plenty of high 90s and even some high 80s to supplement. So the Rams overall are looking really good and even more balanced on the lower end. But it is now time to let them claim their territory. Here we go. The St. Louis Rams have taken their territory in a very awkward shape here, but they have taken territory nonetheless and have eliminated the Cowboys off the map. And it is now time to spin again as we see what team is up next. Oh, by the way, I did do upgrades for the St. Louis Rams, so they did get a left guard, but they also upgraded their right tackle and left outside linebacker. The center was tied, but I think their offensive line was good enough at that point. So the Rams did get their little marginal upgrade, but we got to eliminate the Cowboys, and the Rams might just be, if they keep on spiraling, they might just be unstoppable in this video. Either way, we move on to another team who may make their mark, the New York Jets. So let's see what the New York Jets have. They have a chance to expand, so a little bit more southwestish, which is actually going to be close between the Giants and Bills. So give me a second. So it was super close, just for clarification, but the Jets narrowly, by the thin, cut the corner by like that much to actually face the Giants instead of the Buffalo Bills. Had to zoom in all the way. It was very, very close, but if you do the math on that, it is just crossing like this little border right here, just a little bit before it gets to the Bills, and that's just how it goes sometimes. The Jets will be going to the Giants. It is my call to make, so take that as you will. Jets will be facing the Giants. Let's see how this matchup goes. All right, so currently we have the New York Jets down by 3. Giants are now punting. 49 seconds left on the clock. I believe the Jets have used all of their timeouts to this point, so they have to get in the field goal range and send this into overtime, or ideally, touchdown wins the game for them. So, well, I guess after punt, they'll have about 30 seconds left. So I'm actually very curious how this drive will go. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, though. Usually it snap at the 5-second mark, which is kind of interesting. So 30 seconds to do it, but let's see how far they return it. Oh, maybe. Nope. Clothesline. Oh, well, that was a fumble. Recovered. But was it a fumble in the first place? It looked like they were down, but I guess they're going to keep it a fumble. 21 seconds. I believe no timeouts left. So let's see what happens. Let's see what they do here. All right, snap it. Like no play. They got to... Oh, wow. They got to go for a Hail Mary here. Are they going to snap throw it? Yeah, there you go. Or just spike it, yeah. So they maybe can get 2 plays off. They can do it fast. But I think it's pretty much over here. They have to go for Hail Mary pretty soon. If not here. Let's see, maybe. Yeah, but it was too little, too short, too little, too late. The final score is 30-27 in favor of the Giants. Giants will steal a player from the Jets and take over all east of New York, I guess, because the Buffalo Bills are still in this game. All right, New York Giants have officially taken over the Jets' territory, leaving them kind of in that nice little L shape, or that little, I don't know, not really L shape, just kind of straight down shot shape of the New York Giants and that half of New York. As for the person they picked up, picked up Dave Schnautz, the big upgrade at left guard with it's like a 35-point upgrade. The kicker and fullback also got 5 points, but overall Giants team on the lower end looks really, really bad. But there's a lot of high points here, and hopefully the left guard kind of adds to that. But yeah, an 82 left guard with a 35-point jump because the starting left guard was a 47 overall. Kind of crazy when you look at it like that. So, but anyway, we still have to find our next matchup, and we have to eliminate the Jets from contention here. So now we're on to the next matchup for round 7, I believe. Yeah, round 7, and we are going to be seeing the Seattle Seahawks, who I think it can only claim land right now. I think they're just kind of purely going and claiming land as time goes on. Yeah, that's pretty easily Montana there. I mean, don't even think that's a really big, big ask there. So they're going to actually claim a territory. And give me a second while I kind of get that adjusted. So the Seattle Seahawks with their expansion got a left end, a cornerback, and a kicker, all upgraded 5 points. Left end 78. Cornerback is now up to an 80, and the kicker's now up to a 68. So nice little upgrades for them. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are just expanding their territory, probably the biggest by landmass, maybe close to the Rams, one of those two. I think at least the Seahawks is a lot nicer, is the thing. So either way, we still have to continue this round on round 7 to find a good matchup. And the next matchup will be Philadelphia Eagles. They have appeared multiple times in this video already. So where will they be going? They'll be kind of going west a little bit, kind of gearing out west, which is going to be basically just West Virginia. They're just expanding now and just kind of getting their foothold on that side of the United States, the east side of the United States. So let me get that adjusted for you in the +5 attributes to the three bottom starters. I'm having trouble saying that. The Eagles got their +5 to the 3 lowest, to center, the D-tackle, and the right outside linebacker, kind of getting them all above that 70 mark. So the Eagles are looking like a scary team overall. Whoops, did not mean to do that. So give me 1 second as I just kind of get to play now. Otherwise, it's going to put me in demo mode and then be like, you got to watch this game when I want to watch my own game. So Eagles did take over the West Virginia territory. Otherwise, look at this map. This map is getting more and more full, especially on the East Coast here. We need some teams that are willing to go out there and fight with spin again for this round to find maybe a team that is willing to kind of put up or shut up. Maybe the Giants. Once again, we are seeing kind of the same teams over and over again. So let's see if the Giants actually end up going somewhere a little bit east, a little bit east right. Ooh, it may be close to the Patriots. Give me 1 second. A little surprise here. The Giants actually barely clipped away from the Patriots. Fullback is now up to 65, right guard's up to a 67, and the right outside linebacker's up to 63. Some much needed attributes, maybe the smart move for the Giants to avoid the Patriots for now, to kind of claim a little bit more territory, boost up their team a little bit more, maybe make some needed improvements for the team, and then maybe go out for some of the harder teams and build your team, because the Giants have a big potential team. They're really building them, but on the lower end, they really need to improve it. A couple more expansions might be able to help them just improve it enough. Either way, though, that was another expansion, so we still have to spin for this round. Still need somebody to take on another team. Oakland Raiders may be that team to take someone on. They might have the team for it, so they're going a little bit more southeast-ish. So that looks like it's going to be pretty easily the Chargers. I'm going to check it 1 second, I believe. All right, we have a really interesting drive coming up. The Chargers just punted the ball over to the Oakland Raiders. It is currently tied 21-21. The Chargers were actually up 21-3 at halftime. So this is going to be very curious to see if the Oakland Raiders can actually eke out a victory here against their division rival. I will speed this up, though. There we go. Forgot about that. Boop. We will speed this up, though. Just to see. Or if the Chargers get the ball back, or if they go into overtime, or whatever happens here. I'm very curious. Forgot Jerry Rice is on this team. Kind of has a third stringer here. I think he's 40 years old at this point, which is kind of crazy. But they are in the 2-minute warning phase. But I believe both teams still have all 3 timeouts from what I've seen. But they ran into a brick wall there. So Oakland Raiders both trying to kill the clock while also trying to manage it. All they have to do is get in the field goal range and kill the clock. That is definitely out of bounds. Definitely out of bounds there. Whoa, I don't think there's anything that... Well, I love how they have a little, like, telescope thing. Yeah, that was completely out. Not even close. That was, like, clear as day out of bounds. I love how they have a little booth thing, though. That's so cool. Like, boop, boop. So, either way, I think about 1:47. Third down, is it now? 3rd and 10. So Rich Gannon needs to get this first down right here, right now, if they want to keep this alive. Otherwise, they're going to have to depend on their defense more than likely. Ooh, drop ball by whoever that was. I couldn't tell by the number or anything right now. But it looks like the Raiders will be punting the ball to the San Diego Chargers, who now have a chance to answer, kind of in the same case as the Raiders did just then. See how close they can get to the end zone. Ooh, wow, good return. Wow, they're not too far away from field goal range. They're about, what, 20, 30 yards from it? So all I have to do, San Diego Chargers. I actually don't know who the quarterback at the time here is now. Actually, we'll look that up real quick while the drive is going on. Either way, it wasn't very pretty in that case. No, it wasn't it wasn't Drew Brees at the time. Yeah, it was Drew Brees at the time. Let's say I guess he moved to the Saints a little after that. I thought he was in more in 2001, but I was mistaken. It looks like pretty good season from Drew Brees too, and they're doing pretty good driving down right now, especially with their team with Danny and Tomlinson. Also got a little bit in action here, but they are now easily in field goal range. Oakland Raiders now just trying to have to keep them in the game, keep themselves in the game using their timeouts here. Should have all three, but they used one there. So now all the Chargers have to do is kill the clock. All they have to do, run the ball, keep the ball, whatever they got to do. Pretty good run, though. Rushing yards only -3 for Raiders, and 39 yards for the Chargers. Not too good for them. But 58 minutes, almost said 58 seconds. 58 seconds, yeah, that's what I meant, 58 seconds. 2nd and 3, all they really need is one first down, and it's pretty much over. That's pretty close. San Diego did a timeout there. That's strange, helping out the Oakland Raiders, it looks like. But it's 1st and 10, so maybe they're looking for a touchdown to really get ahead. Who knows? Weird AI choice here. But it's getting really, really close. Really good run, though. Oakland also did a timeout there. I think that was their last timeout. Couldn't really keep up with now San Diego throwing me off there. But I believe that was their last timeout. 50 seconds left. All San Diego has to do is keep the ball and get themselves... Nope, that was their last timeout. No, definitely. So Oakland's out of timeout. 2nd and... Or 3rd and short. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. 47 seconds left. Getting this first down solidifies the game. But missing this will give Oakland a chance to at least get in. But they got the first down anyway. Should be pretty much over from here. 24-21 should be the final score. But there's still a chance they might miss the field goal here. But they're still going to do one more play, kind of get themselves even closer to the goal. Why not? Get yourself as much advantage as possible. Bring out your field goal unit. Do it with no time left on the clock. Kick out and be good. Oh, they're going to try run one more play. Oh, no, they're not. They're going to just kick it. There we go. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Boom. Kick is good. 24-21 is the final score. San Diego Chargers are moving on, and Imperialism and taking over the Oakland Raiders. They're taking over California with only one more opponent really left in their way. We'll kind of readjust like that. Maybe that'll be all right. The Chargers have taken over a lot of California here, taking out the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, by the way, there's a trade going in for Rod Woodson, being 20 overall difference, tied with a middle linebacker, but I decided to avoid the middle linebacker since the secondaries that really, besides the safeties, really need some help. So we're actually going to go with the free safety. Meanwhile, the middle linebackers, and the left ends and D tackles all seem pretty okay. Plus, the middle linebacker get a little bit of a ratings boost anyway, so not too big of a deal in that regard. So we're going to get the free safety over to the Chargers. Chargers are honestly kind of looking pretty good here in this time around. I do have to probably make a small adjustment. I do realize that I did the Chargers bottom 3 people. So I do have to take away the left tackles, little bit of things. But other than that, Chargers have done it, and we got to spin for the next round here in 1 second. And here we are spinning again. Oakland Raiders are out and done. We are now moving on to the next team, which will be the St. Louis Rams again. Dude, if they keep on winning, they might just be unstoppable. But depending on where they're going, I think they have to be in a matchup, though. A little bit east, a little bit more north than south in terms of the east quadrant here. So, ooh, this will be a close one. Give me 1 second to really adjust this. So that isn't even really much of a question. The St. Louis Rams will be going and attacking the Tennessee Titans. This could be a really good matchup. Well, I was just about to tune in and say, hey, the Rams are going for basically their one last Hail Mary shot, but the Rams pretty much just turned over the ball. It's going to be over 37-24. Tennessee Titans absolutely destroyed them this game. They were up 28-3 at halftime, though, so credit to the Rams for coming back as much as they did. But Tennessee Titans kind of did a low-key upset with 37-24 being the final score for the Titans taking over the Rams here. In a very big matchup to determine probably the most landmass of the whole game. Man, kind of insane match there, but honestly, it wasn't even really close. I was going to kind of do something cool with the Rams, but I mean, they were still 13 points down, not really doing much. So, oh well, things end how they end. But Tennessee Titans just came up with a victory, getting a +2 attribute or +5 attribute, as well as stealing a Rams player. So we'll see which those are and update the map as we go. No surprise here, Larry Allen will be transferring over to the Titans, adding to their offensive line, which Titans really need a little bit more work on the offensive line, but they also received a little bit of an upgrade at strong safety and left outside linebacker for 5 points each there, and we'll make this trade go on through. Tennessee Titans actually might be kind of starting to get up into that Rams territory. Of course, Larry Allen isn't from the Rams, unfortunately for I guess the Rams at the time. I guess really not unfortunate for anybody. Because the Titans receive him. I guess unfortunate for the Rams since they lost him and lost. Which is very unfortunate. The Rams, the Oakland Raiders, and the Bucks all have been taken out, and there's some strong contenders. Titans are kind of moving up there now, showcasing like, hey, you know, we're in the conversation of like, hey, we may have let 1999 go by, but we didn't let the Rams go by here. So really excellent showcasing by the Titans, really showing something of their expansions, as well as a big victory over the Rams. Now we have three weird territories here of the Dallas Cowboys, St. Louis Rams, and the Tennessee Titans. So we're kind of just bridging them all. Tennessee Titans are roughly there for their middle ground. So we're just going to put them right between the Saints and the Chiefs in terms of that. But this is what the board's looking like. And, you know, the Rams are no longer there, which is very unfortunate. But we have to chug along and find out the next matchup either way. With the St. Louis Rams gone, who will be the next one up? I mean, Giants have been used a lot, but, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of these teams already. You know, a lot of these teams have not showcased what they have, and I'm kind of curious who will be up next. And it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs might get a shot. No, it's Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers could be in a matchup. I believe that's all they can do is fight. And it looks like Northeast pretty much directly. I think that's going to be pretty much boom, boom, is going to be the Eagles. So Steelers are going to go to Eagles for a matchup here today. So this game was not even close. 42-24. Pittsburgh absolutely steamrolled the Philadelphia Eagles. So pretty much everything's over but the grind at this point. Philadelphia tried to stay in it for a little bit, made it more of a two-score game than pick into the end zone. Just kind of sealed the deal there. Pittsburgh will make the clock go all the way down, and the final score will be 42-24 for Pittsburgh Steelers, getting an upgrade to their two lowest overall starters, and of course stealing a player from the Philadelphia Eagles and taking over some territory that the Philadelphia Eagles have worked really hard to gain. So I'll see you guys in a minute with those changes. There we are. The Steelers are updated on the map here, taking over the whole Philadelphia Eagles area. There's a little bit. Actually, let's go ahead and fix that up real quick. I don't know why I didn't really fill in right there. Boop, boop. Should be an easy 1, 2, 3. Clean up. Ugh, I hate like these touch-ups. Boop. Close enough. That's close enough. Boom, bada bing. But also in terms of player stealing, of course, Ray Lewis is going to be tossed around as much as he likes because they do run a 2 middle linebacker system in Pittsburgh. So middle linebacker Ray Lewis is going over there. Which, by the way, top to bottom, the Steelers have a very good team. They upgraded their kicker from 70 to a 75, and the right guard from a 71 to 72 to a 77. The lowest after that's a 73. They have a very good overall team. They don't have many bad players. And while Philadelphia had a lot of good key players, a lot of higher end players, they didn't have as well rounded of a roster as the Steelers. And honestly, the Steelers, with this upgrade from Ray Lewis as well as the kind of the kicker getting a little bit extra oomph and the right guard also getting upgraded, Pittsburgh could be a really big fighting franchise here in this league. And as we kind of go into round 10, we actually have not seen a whole lot from some teams here. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, let's get rid of Philadelphia Eagles off the spinner because, of course, we're getting round 10. We got rid of 9 teams so far. We have not seen – we're in our final 24 just previously, but now we're in our final 23. We haven't seen the 49ers, Cardinals, Broncos, Chiefs, Texans, Vikings, Bears, Colts, Browns, Bengals, Falcons, Jaguars, Panthers, Bills, Patriots. We haven't seen any of those teams, so I kind of want to see more of those teams in terms of either expansion or a game. It could be either. So we've seen a lot of like focus teams here. Lions being one of them. We've seen the Lions before. What direction will they go in? And we're going to see whether they're matching up. It's kind of to the left here. So they may just be straight going to the Vikings here, which I think it's almost pretty clear cut. Boom. Like pretty much west. A little bit, yeah, that's Lions at Vikings. So we have our next game. We haven't seen the Vikings, I don't believe. So let's see, actually. Yeah, we haven't seen the Vikings, so we're going to see the Vikings for the first time and see if Randy Moss. But this could be a big game for the Lions. They really need a victory to kind of continue their momentum here. So we'll catch you in the game, or catch you at the start screen. So at this point it is 4th down, and I think technically the Lions will get one more playoff. So we're going to give it to them because they will be 6 points down. So that means a touchdown would almost win the game. It would tie the game technically, but like they'll have like 10 seconds to do it. So I don't know if they're really going to how much. Oh, That field goal is no good. Lions, all I need to do is get a field goal. This is actually interesting. 10 seconds. I wish they had like 50 seconds to make it a little bit more interesting, but they have no timeouts. 10 seconds. But all they have to do is get in field goal range. Here we go. And that is over. A sack does it. No spike. No time spike. Yep. It is over. 33-30. That was the most interesting ending I think we've had so far. I've realized this game really doesn't have a whole lot of close games. I figured. In terms of by the end of it, it feels like there's not really a event to watch where like, oh, could they do it besides if they do an onside kick, which is kind of lame. But the Vikings win 33-30, get to steal a player and get the 2 lowest overall starters plus 5 overall. With that, the Vikings took over the Detroit Lions little map area, making a nice little north coast here. I shouldn't say north coast because it's bordering Canada, but you know, nice little northern space here. So nice little territory. Seahawks have a lot, Tennessee has a lot, Steelers have a lot, Vikings have a decent bit. So it's kind of interesting. I want to see some of these other teams get involved. We're down to the last 22. Several teams still haven't gotten involved yet. But let's go ahead and just show you also Luther Ellis is joining the team. Only 84 overall. Lions didn't have very good players. Actually, I think it's like their 5th highest rated player on their team or something like that. Or actually, probably even lower than that. Actually, it's like third highest rated player. And the difference between D tackle was just enough to make it. It's like 24 difference because they run a 2 D tackle roster here for Minneapolis. So there you go, slight adjustment to the D tackles. I will say Vikings have some depth issues in terms of a lot of their defensive positions, especially very low overalls. I boosted up a right tackle from 52 to 57, but several defensive players were 61 or low 60s. I increased the strong safety from a 61 to 66 because the secondary needed more help than the linebackers, which I think a left outside linebacker was also a 61. But nevertheless, we have to get rid of the Detroit Lions. Kind of a sad day. I kind of like the Detroit Lions. Wanted them to kind of go a little bit further, but you know what? We live and let learn and move on to the New Orleans Saints. We have seen them. Haven't seen them in a while though. They expanded near the beginning, so let's see if they're gonna now have a matchup, which they are going almost pretty much west, and we are going to go see them face off against the Texans. That is a guaranteed matchup right there. See you guys in the head-to-head matchup screen, and I'm excited for this. Saints at Texans should be an interesting game. Dare I say, we might actually have an interesting drive here. About 3.5 minutes left. The Texans are down by 3. They get the ball. And I believe they have all 3 timeouts, so it's not the most interesting drive, but it's the most interesting we've gotten so far. So we're going to roll with it and watch as it goes, because I'm actually kind of excited to see them. This is led by David Carr, the rookie #1 overall pick in the 2002 draft. So we'll see how they do. Running the ball, running down the clock, it looks like. The Saints had a pretty decent, like, it's been back and forth. 21-17 at one point, I think, near third quarter. So now it's 27-24 in favor of New Orleans. We'll see. Right now, Texans are running the ball still. They're very short of a third down. They need this conversion if they want to really keep this drive alive and really put themselves really ahead in this game. Because all they need is a field goal to take them into overtime. But they need an actual they need an actual touchdown if they want to take the lead. Injury timeout though at this point. Not quite in a 2-minute warning. This Texans team is a really bad overall team. New Orleans Saints are a big step up, so a Texans victory here would be really big for them. But they need to actually start rolling a little bit. They're kind of not, the run game's not going to work for them long term. 2nd and 10. They need to do something more than just, hey, hand off the ball. David Carr's going to throw it. Oh my gosh, long pass here within the field goal range. Now all the Texans have to do is burn clock and maybe get a touchdown. 2-minute warning left. New Orleans will have to do something here. They get a big stop, big interception, big turnover, something here. Because Texans are in a really good position. Because they get a touchdown here, this is all profit. But now they did get a tackle for loss there. 2nd and 14. Let's see what David Carr can do here. Drop back. Good little short pass. About what, 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10 now? Yeah, so they're at the very least they're keeping it very safe here. So 1.5 minutes left roughly. Boom. Not quite the first down though. They will probably kick the field goal here with 1 minute probably about remaining when they do end up doing so. Leaving the Saints having a drive to either basically do something, but whether it's to get a field goal range or to get a touchdown or whatever. Texans will burn as much clock as they can to prevent the New Orleans Saints from having too much time left. I believe New Orleans Saints also have all 3 timeouts. So kick is good. So it's officially tied. 51 seconds left. New Orleans Saints get the ball. Very, very curious how this is going to go. Saints have a chance to just go ahead and end this game, and before anything can get really too crazy. I don't know what kind of player they can really get from the Texans, but at the very least they stay alive in Imperialism. Or will the Texans actually take this up? Wasn't a great return. 48 seconds remaining here. This is going to be kind of intense here. Let's see, they have to get first down here, 1st and 10. Let's see if they decide to run the ball or if not, they're going to pass. Swiped away. 1st and 10 still. The clock will stop on incomplete passes, but it is 2nd and 10 now. They do have to convert. 4th down, they'll have to go for it at this point. I guess they don't have to go for it. I guess at this point they're tied. They can just take the overtime, but it's fumble. It's a fumble, and Texans recovered it. The Texans just recovered it in Saints territory. The Texans just recovered the fumble in Saints territory. Holy crap. The Texans now just have to run out the clock. The Saints have maybe one last like effort in with their 3 timeouts, but they have to make sure they stop them here. Houston stopped the clock. Are they not within field goal range? They are within field goal range. So why are they stopping the clock? That's helping the Saints. This AI, no. Texans, you have a chance for victory right here. Now, granted, I mean, you're probably still going to win, but broken tackle lead to a 1st down. Houston still calls a timeout, helping out the Saints, I guess. I'm not too sure what's going on with the AI here. It's kind of nutso, if you don't not mind me saying so, I guess. But like all they need to do is run down the clock. New Orleans finally calls the first time out, which at this point might be a little too late. They at the very least will have like 20 seconds left to do something if the Texans do not convert here. Which, I mean, at the very least they might as well just run down the clock and make them use their timeouts. But yeah, New Orleans, there we go. 1 timeout remaining, 27 seconds remaining, 2nd or 3rd and about 4. Yeah, 3rd and 4. Will Texans convert right here because that will mean game over for sure. But if the New Orleans Saints stop them here, they'll have a shot. But was that 1st down? I'm guessing it was a 1st down because usually it says 4th down on screen. It's 1st and goal. Texans have won this game. All they got to do is make sure to kneel the ball down. I don't know if they have timeout left, but basically just set themselves up. Wow, it's like lost, whatever there. So now I'm curious. Are Texans actually going to do the smart play? Because now I'm kind of nervous for them. Are they going to spike the ball or something? Okay, the Texans had 1 more timeout left, 1 second remaining. They're going to kick a field goal. 30-27 is going to be the final score, maybe, unless Chris Brown misses this. Let's hope not. Texans really need this. Kick is good. Texans win 30-27. Upsets right now. Texans are going to build their team from the franchise up. 30-27. We're going to upgrade their team and get a new player from the New Orleans Saints because Texans really needed this, and they get to take over some territory too. Here we go. Who would have thought that Houston would actually be expanding and actually decent territory now, owning that little southern hemisphere? And actually, if Texans ever get spun on, they only have 1 matchup, and that's Tennessee. Tennessee's completely surrounded them at this point, so Texans will have to face through Tennessee or whoever beats Tennessee in the future. Kind of a weird place to be, but nonetheless, they did get small upgrades. Of course, they got Sammy Knight from the Saints, so we're going to go ahead and confirm that as a big upgrade to their secondary with a 90 overall strong safety. And they also received some minor upgrades to the defensive line from 54 to 59 and 57 to 62 with the left end and right outside linebacker, respectively. So that will be some minor changes, but they still have some very rough spots on the team overall. If you look through real quick, whoops, that's the wrong one. If you look through, I mean, 59 free safety, 62 right outside linebacker, 59 left end still, 67 right guard. I mean, there's some rough spots here. So the Texans need a lot more wins if they want to actually be able to have a shot here. David Carr's doing pretty good though, so we'll see maybe if he can carry the team a little bit as a rookie here. But nonetheless, we'll move on back to our spinner because we have to get rid of the Saints now in favor of the Texans here. And now spin again. We have 21 teams. Several still haven't been involved. Kansas City Chiefs being one of them. This will be an interesting matchup here. Depending where they go, they could expand. I think pretty much what's called West. Pretty much. Whoops. Boop. Let's make sure I'm recording. Yeah. So it looks like they're just going to expand. Don't think it's going to be too controversial. I'm just going to give them an expansion real quick and be right back with you. The Kansas City Chiefs have gotten some significant upgrades, actually making their defense look quite a bit better with 65 free safety going up to a 70, right outside linebacker and D-tackle going up from a 66 to a 71. They had a little bit more help on the right side rather than the left side because left outside linebacker was also a 66, but the right end of the Kansas City Chiefs was a little bit lower than the left end. So I decided the right side needed a little bit more help, so just went with that logic. But beside the point, the Chiefs may have expanded, and we haven't seen anything from them, so it was nice for them to make an appearance at least. But it's time to spin again to see what next team is going to be. It's actually Kansas City Chiefs once again, so they could either continue to expand or actually go into a matchup this time. Let's see where they go. Kind of northwest this time. As you see, I kind of changed their territory, but actually pretty clearly going to be a new expansion, so they get to expand again. Pretty good turns for Kansas City Chiefs here. I got to make another expansion for the Kansas City Chiefs because they're just kind of racking in the stuff now. Well, Chiefs continue to expand, and they continue now, got all their starters all out of the 60s. Now they're all officially in the 70s with a cornerback, a free safety, and left outside linebacker all getting into the 70s now. Pretty good rating so far. The Kansas City Chiefs are improving their team, and it could be, on the up and up. Right now, kind of looking at the board right here, Seahawks, Chiefs, Tennessee Titans all look impressive. Steelers also impressive in their own right. Same with the Vikings. Giants are up and coming. Still some strong teams in regards to Indianapolis with a strong offense. Chargers can still be a kind of a good team. The Dolphins out there. Texans never know. They had an upset, so we'll see. But we still have a couple other teams that have not been featured just yet. So let's see if we can spin this wheel and maybe get somebody other than the Chiefs. So let's maybe hope for that. And this time, it's Chicago Bears. We have not seen anything from them. I'm very excited because I think they do have to match up against somebody. It's pretty much southeast, pretty much going to be right here into Indianapolis. Unless they go directly south or like a little bit southeast, they're not going to hit anybody but Indianapolis, which they're pretty much Indianapolis. So it's going to be Chicago Bears at Indianapolis who will take home this victory. The Bears, who have a little bit of a lower team, but they could still eke out a victory against the Colts. So I'll see you in a second in the game menu screen. Well, I'm tuning back in. 27-17 currently. The Colts have the ball. Again, it's one of those weird little 10-point games where it's like, well, I don't really care enough to really do anything because now they're just going to kneel the ball out because I'm pretty sure Chicago – do they have all 3 timeouts? They may have all 3 timeouts still, but it's virtually impossible for – no, they must only had 1 timeout left. So it's impossible for Chicago to come back in this game. Indianapolis going to roll down the clock. 27-17 is the final score. Colts are going to get a player from the Bears, which they have some decent players on that team. So we're going to see who they get. But they also get a injury does stop the play, though. So actually, Bears do get a shot here. So we actually are going to wait a second and maybe see something, maybe see a little bit of a drastic thing. I mean, the Bears could get this really quickly and then also get whatever, but I'll tune into that if it does happen. Otherwise, the score is going to be 27-17. I'll see you guys in the upgrades as well as the map update. Colts will acquire 89 overall strong safety Mike Brown. Huge upgrade for their defense, their secondary, because their secondary is actually one of the weakest points of their whole game. The fullback did go from 50 to 55, and left end went from a 57 to a 62. So they're marginally improving their team. Colts still need to work a little bit more on their defense, but their offense is still, still solid. So as long as the defense gets padded out, the Colts may actually be a pretty good contender in this matchup. And we'll just see the updated map here. Colts taking over, of course. This is our top 20. This is actually really cool, really interesting to see. A lot of teams still haven't gotten involved. A couple of the West Coast, a couple Northeast, and even kind of in the Eastern, Southeastern, I guess, section. A couple of those teams need to get more involved, but we're going to find out who will. Chicago Bears are getting eliminated, unfortunately for them. But boom, we are rolling again. Who is up next? Miami Dolphins. I believe they only have one way they can go. Miami Dolphins have to face Jaguars, so Miami immediately will only have to spin. Miami will face off against Jacksonville, and that'll be a fun matchup. This will be the battle for Florida. And look at this. Miami is having to punt the ball with under 2 minutes left. Jacksonville has 2-point difference right now. All Jacksonville has to do is get within field goal range. Wow, Jacksonville even in 2002 actually showing out some cases here. While the Dolphins are possibly going to blow this game right here. All they had to do was get a first down, and they were pretty much golden set. But instead, they're going to be beat by another left-handed quarterback nowadays. So the Dolphins have a left-handed quarterback now. The Jaguars have a left quarterback in this game. So let's see. They still have a lot of ways to go, though. But field goal wins the Jaguars this game. So that's all they need to do is get within field goal range. And wow, they are almost there, halfway point. Now pretty much they just got to kind of kill some clock while also getting to field goal range. That way they don't give the Dolphins any time to respond. They would love a touchdown here, but they are within field goal range. Miami has now got the pressure on them. Miami has to make a stand right now. Otherwise, they're about to lose the territory. They've worked so hard gaining here. It's actually really interesting gameplay right here. Jacksonville, all they have to do, burn their timeouts. Burn those timeouts, get the first down, kick a field goal, win the game 29-24, 27-26. That's all they have to do. Good run by Fred Taylor. I believe it's Fred Taylor, right? Well, I don't know. We'll see. 3rd and 4. This could be either a pass or a run. Either one would be not too bad here. But all they have to do is just try to get this first down. That's the main goal. Did they get it? They did not. They were just short. 4th and 1. 4th and 1. The clock will burn down probably to about the 30-second mark, giving Miami a couple more shots. But they will be kicking this field goal All Miami has to do is answer with a field goal of their own, and that's all they have to do to win this game. But they're going to burn as much clock as they want, get down to about the 40-second mark for Miami's response time. This is going to be a heck of a game. Kick is good, so Miami has to respond. No timeouts remaining, 41 seconds left on the clock. Miami has to respond now or never. Otherwise, Jacksonville's going to run home with this. A newer franchise to Madden 2002 could be walking away with a victory against the Miami Dolphins. We could be having like Jacksonville and Houston Texans, two newer franchises, really do well against each other, or do well again in this franchise, or in this Imperialism franchise too, I guess, whatever. But 38 seconds left on the clock. Miami has to do something big. They have to get consistent plays outside of the bounds or something. They have to do something big. But that's, they better hurry up. They could maybe afford one of those, maybe two if they hurry. But 25 seconds left. They did spike the ball 24 seconds. This is going to be a really close call for Miami. 24 seconds left on the clock. Very exciting, though. They are at the 50-yard line, so it is very possible. All they have to do, if they can get one more big play completed like that right here, right now, they might be able to do it. Did they? They got it completed within the 30, I believe. Is that within the 30? They have to spike this ball. They might just have a shot here at doing this. Boom, 9 seconds left remaining on the clock. Will they go for one more deep shot, or are they going to just take the field goal? Because it's not an easy field goal. Long was 49. I believe this is about a 30, 41, but 48-yarder. So this is going to be kicking as long. Kick is good. Miami came back from this 29-27, leaving Jacksonville. 5 seconds left on the clock. Pretty much only a return and maybe one play, depending on the kick. This has been a heck of a game for these two teams. Miami barely came back, showing against Jacksonville. This is really exciting last couple drives here. 1 second remaining. Jacksonville has one shot. One shot for a dream. Have to find the end zone now or never. What can Jacksonville do? Have to get plenty of time. Hail Mary pass. Then that's like 80-plus yards for them. Let's see. Enough time? Nope, not quite. Incomplete. Game is over. Miami has taken over NFL Imperialism 29-27. Heck of a game, though. Really exciting. The battle for Florida is done, and Miami has taken over. By welcome Jimmy Smith to the Miami Dolphins. He was easily the best one. It's only a 14 overall difference, though. Jacksonville really didn't have many options for Miami. They really didn't have like the strengths that Jacksonville had. Miami had the strengths there. So wasn't really much. Adding to the wide receiver depth for Miami, though, could be dangerous going forward here for this team. So let's go ahead and accept that trade, make sure we get them all through. So pretty good receiving core overall, as well as an upgrade to the left outside linebacker and the left tackle for the Miami Dolphins. Make him into the low 70s, 71, I believe. And if we check out the map now, of course, too, Miami now controls Florida. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And man, this map is starting to look kind of dense. Still got some open territories though for people to conquer, so a little bit more expanding could happen. Let's see as we go to the wheel spin here, and we got to eliminate Jacksonville from the map here. And actually, that's showing good tabs. Oh, a little bit of spoiler for a quiz coming up that I'm making. So anyway, the Atlanta Falcons, we haven't seen them yet. Weaker team in this Imperialism, so they probably need. I think they have a chance for expansion. A little bit to the east here. Ooh, it's going to be close. I'm going to count the core of the bird right here, and I'll let you know what it is. I'm going to actually kind of measure this one. But I think it's an expansion. The Falcons receive some upgrades, +5 to the 3 lowest starters. Honestly, doesn't go as far as I hoped in this game. I know I kind of use modern Maddens for more of my scaling, since most of the lowest rated players are high 60s, low 70s. And so I thought, a bump up to like 75 or like, stuff like that for multiple players feels good. But this time, like this game, it just feels like it's just kind of putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, because the left outside linebacker went from 59 to 64, same with the right guard, and the strong safety went from 57 to 62. Marginally helping the team a little bit, but still some major repairs needed for this Atlanta team. And overall, I mean, this team, middle ground, there's not much on the higher end. There's like very low-end players in this team. So maybe it helps a little bit, maybe get them a victory. But kind of nervous for the Atlanta Falcons to go forward. Nevertheless, they did expand into their territory, new territory. And so now we have a little bit different of a map here going on. But a lot of the East Coast now is pretty much done. Northeast still has a little bit. West still has some expansion needed. So let's roll this again and just go ahead and see if we can get some more battles or something. Something going on. Oh, Seattle again? Or Houston? Are we going to see Houston again? We're going to see Houston again. I'm actually kind of excited to see Houston, to be honest with you. I think they do have to fight somebody, though. Actually, I don't even know why I spun. I think they do have to, just have no choice. Ooh, no, I think they're just directly pretty much east. I think that's easily Tennessee, and I didn't have to spin because they had to face Tennessee anyway. I forgot they're, encapsulated. But this could be a major win for Tennessee, just because adding another player and getting the bonuses from the Texans could be really nice for Tennessee. Or Houston Texans can really solidify their place on the map by beating the juggernaut here. And so this is going to be kind of a fun little matchup for Tennessee and Houston here. This a little bit later than I wanted to, but was pretty much everything was over except for the crying. So Tennessee pretty much knelt it down 24-10. Easy peasy for Tennessee taking the win here. Really nice little boosting up win. Tennessee's really doing great in this Imperialism so far with a bunch of expansions and now another player steal. Don't know exactly who they can really get at this point, but Tennessee takes home this victory pretty easily. Well, it was a good run, Texans. You got to win in, but now you're giving up Sammy Knight to the Tennessee Titans, who are now looking like some beasts here. A very good team overall. I mean, like, their three lowest players were 72, 72, and 71. Right guard and corner were both tied, but I decided to go the right guard there just to give them more of a boost on offensive line. Tennessee at this point is looking like a dominant force, and honestly, the best they could get from the Texans was a 15 overall boost, basically in a strong safety in Sammy Knight. So Tennessee's a force to be reckoned with right now because their team is getting more and more stacked as time goes on, and it may be hard to stop them at some point. So Tennessee just keeps on going up and up, and their territory is definitely showing it here. They own a large portion and have been dominating thus far. So they've won some important game against the Rams. Now even a little bit less important game against the Texans. But this board is looking like the Titans to lose. Otherwise, I think the only other teams I could kind of see competing with them at this point is maybe the Steelers. Seattle may have enough upgrades to have taken them on, but other teams, maybe Chargers are a good enough team by default. Plus, I think they won against the Oakland Raiders earlier. Dolphins, maybe. Also, they have a pretty good team. So, like, it's going to be close, though. I'm liking this. I'm liking this board a lot. But anyway, we have a team to eliminate in the Houston Texans, unfortunately. But we still have a few more teams that we can kind of do a little bit here. And so I'm kind of curious who's going to be next. San Diego Chargers, speaking of which, we just spoke about them. Maybe they have a good enough team default. They go northeast-ish. So that's going to be pretty easily Arizona. Not Arizona. Wait, that's not Arizona. Arizona's to the right of them. That's Nevada. I think it's pretty easily Nevada, so I'm going to quickly expand for them and get their 3 players attributed. Chargers take over a little bit more territory, getting their offensive line, especially left tackle and left guard on that left side, going up from 65 and 66 respectively, up to 70 to a 71 respectively, I should say. And tight end gets a nice little boost from a 67 to a 72, making an offensive line quite nice for the Chargers, actually, getting them a little bit more in the doable area. Of course, their territory expanded a little bit of an awkward shape, but still works out pretty fine. But again, that was only expansion. We need a matchup this round. So let's see who's going to be the lucky contender who may be getting a matchup. Cleveland Browns, I believe they have nothing but matchups they can do. They do have a couple avenues I believe they can go, but we're about to find out. More northeast, or northwest, sorry. Northwest. Ooh, it's going to be a close one. Give me a second to measure all this. And with 6 seconds left on the clock, that went about as well as I thought it would. And with that, we wish the Minnesota Vikings good tidings. Out of NFL Imperialism, the Cleveland Browns are making their way through right now, right through Minnesota. And the Browns took over quite a bit of territory there, now owning the little bit northern region there. And also kind of looking at their new addition to Randy Moss, which will very drastically help their wide receiver core, as well as they received a couple little upgrades to a fullback and a free safety. So minor upgrades there, but the Browns nevertheless move on in NFL Imperialism and get a little bit better, So, hey, and spoilers alert, there you go. If you see it on screen out there, congratulations, you get to see a thumbnail that I'm making currently, which I think would be uploaded by this point, so don't even worry about it. Boom. Nope, that's the Cleveland Browns. We want to get rid of the Minnesota Vikings. We'll just make a quick look at Cleveland Browns. Look at that. Yeah, we got to get rid of the Minnesota Vikings, man. Boom. We are now rolling again for our next team here. Miami Dolphins. Do they have somewhere to go? They do. They can either go Falcons or Tennessee. It's more likely going to be Falcons, but let's go ahead and roll and just see. I kind of have to get at least something here. Actually, technically, depending on its directional pull there, I can kind of readjust, is that going to hit Texas? I mean, because that counts. I think that would count. technically. So I'm going to do some readjustments here. I'm going to keep on spinning until I find the right one and just show you from there. So there's literally the next roll. I got this, and it barely hits Atlanta's little Georgia right here. So it will be the Miami Dolphins going to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. This got interesting real quick because Atlanta Falcons are 6 points away from tying the Miami Dolphins. All they need is a touchdown to lead. They have a little over 2 minutes left with 2-minute warnings still in effect, ready to go. 2-minute warnings now in effect. They still have a lot of yards to make up, though. Field goal will not do it. Michael Vick has to lead the Atlanta Falcons down for a touchdown. This could be a big win for them. A good pickup from a Dolphins player, as well as also some upgrades. So they really need this because it's also give them a decent amount of land too, and really give them the southeastern hemisphere. And Dolphins, they really can't lose here, man. I mean, obviously you can't lose because it's NFL Imperialism, but you can't lose to Michael Vick. Don't let him take you to the dog pound, man. Come on. Oh, bless. But the Atlanta Falcons continue to march on. 142. And, 3rd and 8 now. They will have to go for it on 4th if that ends up happening. So, we'll see here. I do believe Michael Vick did get hurt in this game, but I don't know. I guess he is. No, is that him? I can't tell what the character model. 2002, man. Oh, I don't think that's him. But they got a first down nevertheless. A minute and a half left. I believe they still have a decent amount of their timeouts, too, so they should be fine. Big catch right in the middle of the field, almost in the red zone. They are this close to the red zone, guys. The Atlanta Falcons, could they upset the Miami Dolphins? They are now 2nd and 10, a minute and 12 left. I'm pretty sure they have all their timeouts left too, so they got plenty of time. They just need to convert their drives, their first downs. Just convert into first downs. Oh, almost a pick. That would have been a costly pick for the Atlanta Falcons at this point. And Michael Vick is currently hurt, so the backup QB is currently in. This would be a big win. Go for the first down, guys. Y'all can recoup after that. There we go. First down for the Atlanta Falcons. They will now be 1st and goal. Oh my gosh, a minute left. Atlanta did call timeout. If they keep on running the play, they might be able to get down to that 1 yard line and keep on milking out the clock a little bit longer. But no, they incomplete it. Might leave the Dolphins with enough time to respond back if they do get a touchdown. So we'll see. 58 seconds left. 19-13 still. Touchdown from the Atlanta Falcons. They are up by 1 point, but they give Miami too much time. They may have. All Miami needs is to get in the field goal range. This is insane. The Atlanta Falcons, if they just play good defense for 1 more minute, they will win NFL Imperialism, this NFL Imperialism match. Not the whole NFL Imperialism. They still have a long way to go for that. But nevertheless, Miami has to do something. Some sort of score on this drive. All of their timeouts should be remaining. This is an intense matchup. Miami's made this matchup a lot closer than maybe they really thought with the overall difference they've had. 53 seconds. What will they do here? Oh, this is intense. About 32-yard line. Plenty of time from them. All they got to do is use 28-yard line. I kind of inverted. But, right to the 50. But, face mask. So they get another 5 yards. They are now in the opponent's 45 already. And Jimmy Smith is hurt too. This could spell disaster for Miami, but they just need a few more yards. Field goal range is about around the 35 probably. 45, maybe a little bit less. Maybe around the 30 for safe picking there. Almost intercepted. Oh, Atlanta Falcons could have won it right then and there, but they didn't intercept it. Oh, this actually might be one of the best games we've had so far. 2019 currently. I don't know if that was enough though. Miami doesn't look like they're confident in it. 3rd and 5. They'll have to probably. Will they go for a field goal from this range? This might just be out of the easy zone. But they don't need to. They're now within the red zone. Atlanta has to be using their timeouts and get some quick stops. They need either them to score a touchdown real quick or just to stop them here, plug them up, and go for basically a nice little field. No, they have to go for a touchdown. They'll have to go for a touchdown. But Atlanta's burning out that clock. Miami's burning out that clock. What does Atlanta not having more timeouts left? They're just going to waste time till the kick? Atlanta used all their timeouts. It's over. If Miami makes this kick, it is over. 22-20. Is it? Okay. So that was a weird call. 4 seconds exactly. All right, well, I guess that's enough time. Or to give them just enough time to actually do a field goal or a kickoff. Let's find out. 4 seconds remaining. Yeah, okay, I thought that was weird. So they get a kickoff for that, but otherwise, unless something big happens, it's Miami 22, Atlanta 20, final score. And just like that, Miami has fished out Bob Whitfield from the Atlanta Falcons. 87 overall left tackle, making the offensive line a lot better. Tight end and a left outside linebacker also got some significant upgrades from tight end from a 66 to a 71, and left outside linebacker from a 63 to a 68. Dolphins are looking like the team to beat. Their team, whoops, keep on doing that. Their team is kind of getting stacked real quick. QB might be slightly lower, but their weapons are there. Their secondary is really good. Their offensive line is nothing to sneeze at. Their defensive line could be a little bit better, but not too much. It's looking really good. Strong safety, a little bit of a downgrade. I did decide to go tight end more than a strong safety, just because I believe that they more so needed weapons, or at least a higher weapon percentage, I guess, than they needed secondary help. So I decided to go tight end there. So sue me. But nevertheless, we have to continue on with the spinning of the wheel, because the Atlanta Falcons are now eliminated. I got to find them off the board. I wish they were color coordinated. I need to make sure they're color coordinated next time. Whatever. But we are the Sweet 16 officially. 16 teams remain. And the next one up is Cleveland Browns. We've seen them. They are getting eager to get more involved in this whole game here. Oh, I still got to do a territory change. I'll do that, and let's look at the wheel too. They're gonna go straight south, so let's do that real quick, and then we'll change the map up a little bit. How about that? It's gonna be close between Colts and Titans. I'll come back with a map change and an answer for you. Well, after that map change, this is the state of our map. After 16 teams are still left, a lot of northeastern territories still need to be claimed. The northwestern territories would like to be claimed and get more advantage there. Haven't seen much from we haven't seen anything from the 49ers, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Panthers. Haven't seen anything from them. The Bills and Patriots. We haven't seen anything from those 7 teams. Tennessee, Browns, Seattle, Chargers we've seen from. Dolphins we've seen a lot of. Pittsburgh we saw a little bit of. Colts we saw a little bit of. And speaking of the Colts, the Browns did spin, and they nearly hit this part right here of Illinois. And so it'll be the Chicago Browns going to Indianapolis and facing off against Peyton Manning's Colts to see which team is going to be the 17th team eliminated from NFL Imperialism. Well, look at that. We have another close game. Cleveland is behind 13-17. They got one drive, 2:29. Almost threw a pick immediately. But the Indianapolis Colts have been held to 17 points. Cleveland, all they need to do is march down the field within the 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And also make sure they're not converting the first downs. Get a touchdown, they could win this game if they do it in a good time span. And if they march down the field effectively. And they definitely could. Their offense isn't the best, but it's also not the worst. They did barely get the first down there. They need to make some substantial headway there pretty soon. Oh, Indianapolis has challenged it, though. Let's see if they did get the first down or if it was just short. Oh, wait. It was overturned. What was overturned? Okay, cool. I don't know what was overturned. But they're marching down the field. 1:34 left. 1:32. Oh, my gosh. The Colts are doing everything they can to keep them out of the end zone. This is for the game. Cleveland, if they win this, could get some substantial upgrades to their offense, which is much needed. Same for honestly the Colts. They could really use some defensive help. The Browns have some of those pieces. 3rd and 4 though, on the same side of the Colts, in Colts territory. 1:14, they got out of bounds. They got the first down too. This has been effective. This has been an effective drive from the Colts. Not Colts, the Browns. This has been an effective drive from the Browns. Say calm. Whoa, almost another pick there. Gosh, they need to be careful of that. Otherwise, it could be a game ender for them, because I don't know if they could really afford a turnover at this point in the game. Let's see. One more. Come on. Little chuck down pass, getting some yards. Probably about 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4, about a minute. Little sub. Oh, Cleveland did decide to call a timeout there. Interesting call here. Want to burn out some of the time, but you also need to make sure you're effectively getting down that field. Cleveland, 1 minute remaining. Oh, 4th down. They are at 4th and 4. They absolutely must get this first down conversion right here, right now. Otherwise, this game is over for the Cleveland Browns. Almost no doubt about that, especially with the run game of the Colts, which is decently effective. Will it be completed? It is turnover on downs. The Colts have just turned it over. Now, technically, it's not completely out of the water yet, but something tells me one good run from the Colts. Oh, it looks like they're in victory position, so it looks like maybe the Browns used too many of their timeouts. Nope, no, they're just... Okay, hold up. Okay. They may have something here, but I'm pretty sure the final score will be 17-13. All the Colts have to do is definitely get a first down, but even then, milk out most of the time here. They'll probably get it down to 10 seconds. The Browns probably won't have too much of an opportunity. No timeouts remaining. That means it's pretty much over at this point. It's everything's over but the crime for the Browns. Take it down to Pound Town. The Colts will be winning this game 17-13. I did my best with the Colts territory here. It's kind of like an awkward little corner here, so I'm just going to put it like roughly right there. Should be fine. I'm not going to worry about it too much. What we're going to worry about, though, is the fact that Jameer Miller is now coming there to help boost up the linebacker position for the Colts, which is much needed. I did give the left end and fullback +5 as well. Fullback went from a 55 to a 60. Left end from a 62 to a 67. Pretty effective stuff there. There was a offensive line position that was also tied with 62, I believe. But I decided left end was probably a little bit more important. Like defensive line was probably a little bit more important for this team at the moment for overall stuff. Either way, though, we have to find another matchup. Once again, we are now getting into almost the playoff territory here. Not literally playoffs, but kind of playoffs, I guess. Let's find the Cleveland Browns and eliminate them. Too bad I just actually had to re-add them to the map not too long ago. So, unfortunate. But, do we have the Indianapolis Colts again? No, it's the Carolina Panthers. They will be going somewhere and fighting. It's either going to be north, south, or west. Ooh, going to be a close one, but I think that's going to be Pittsburgh. I'm actually just going to do it live right here, right now. Boom, bada bing, because I think it's pretty safely Pittsburgh, but I'm going to do it my very advanced technology of putting this software into a hard drive and really effectively doing it. I'm using about the core of the Panthers' neck, and that's pretty easily the Steelers. Not even going to worry about it. My mathematical formula came up with Carolina at Pittsburgh. So we're going to have the Carolina Panthers, first time involved in this game, in this NFL Imperialism, going off against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a really heavy juggernaut in favorite in this matchup so far. Looks of it, the Carolina may actually pull for victory here. Pittsburgh has 2 minutes left to find a touchdown, to find that end zone. Carolina may pull off one of the biggest upsets of NFL Imperialism thus far. Madden 2003 against a really good Pittsburgh Steelers team, which has looked really good against a team like the Carolina Panthers, who have struggled in their overall and other things. But Pittsburgh's not going down without a fight. They are no huddling as fast as they can to get in as soon as possible. Looks like quick passes. They're going quick passes and getting things done. A minute 30 left. They need to find the end zone. They got one more first down more than likely, and they're chewing at that clock. Be about a minute 15 left when they snap this ball. Ref has the ball snapping at minute 10. What is that, about 3rd and 1 now? 3rd and 1. What will they do here? They did decide to use the first time out here at a minute left. They'll have to find the end zone here. So more than likely they can pick this up here, but then they have to find the end zone quickly afterwards. Carolina may have a chance to respond, but not enough time to do so. Intercepted. Carolina just intercepted Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh may have a small chance here, but one first down should seal the deal for Carolina's victory here. Oh my gosh, the Carolinas pull off the upset of Madden 2003. This is going to be crazy. Pittsburgh again, they have one more timeout here. Holy moly. This is actually getting intense, guys. I'm like getting my drink ready and everything. That's about 3rd and 1 right there. This game is pretty much over, because that was the last time out. Yeah, I think this game's over. I don't think anything Pittsburgh can do. 4th down, but they're going to shoot out the clock. I guess they get a kickoff or a punt real quick. They'll get the punt, but they'll get 10 seconds maybe. 10 seconds of time Pittsburgh has to make a touchdown. If it wasn't for that pick, we'll still watch it. 18-13 might be the final score, though. The hang time really hurt there. Return touch. They got a return touchdown. Pittsburgh just got a return touchdown. Pittsburgh just got a return touchdown. Pittsburgh just got a return touchdown. They're going for 2. This will solidify anything else, but they didn't need it. It's 19-18. Pittsburgh just won in the nick of time. Oh, they got bailed out. The punt returner. The punt returner. Oh my gosh, we're learning that man's name. We're learning that man's name. Whoever just got that. Whoever just made that monumental call right there to make it there. Hold up. Boom. Nope. Boom. Who got this punt return? Punt return touchdown. Anawan Randall L. 22 years old, rookie. A rookie returner. Just won the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers in NFL Imperialism. We watched that live, folks. We watched that live, and I'm so excited about that. That's such a cool ending to a game. Holy moly, 19-18. Steelers take the victory. Let's update the map and make sure they get their rewards from it all. Holy moly. Well, Wesley Walls, welcome to the team. The Steelers with a +4 addition to their team. Really, the Steelers don't need much, and the Panthers didn't have much to offer anyway. So for a nail-biting matchup like that, the Panthers really didn't give the Steelers really anything in comparison. The Steelers did get a couple good upgrades from a free safety from a 71 to 76 and a right end from a 75 to an 80. So like we have the lowest overall of this team starting-wise, 76, 77. Not very far off, and most of them in the 80s. A lot of close people into the 90s. This team of the Pittsburgh Steelers should be one of the best teams in the NFL Imperialism right now. Another win, another upgrade or two might put this team into unstoppable range. But the Carolina Panthers showed that maybe there's still some weakness there, and some teams need to capitalize soon, I think. Either way, let's look at the state of the map currently with our top 14, our Sweet 14. Right now, this is our 14 teams. These are like our playoff teams right now. A lot of AFC represented. AFC West has 3 people I'm noticing. It looks like the NFC South, I believe, as long as I'm not missing anybody, is all gone. Some very interesting stuff. We have not seen the Cardinals, the 49ers, the Broncos, the Bengals, or the Bills, or the Patriots. So we haven't seen a few of these teams, but the Tennessee Titans we've seen a lot. Colts we've seen a little bit of lately. Pittsburgh seen enough of. Dolphins kind of the same case there. Chargers we haven't seen in a hot minute, but we saw them expand. Chiefs we saw them expand a couple times, but otherwise these teams, lots of ground to still be gained, lots of matches to be played. We'll do one more matchup here. I'm kind of doing that for my own session. I'm recording these in multiple sessions if you couldn't tell by the attire change, the slightly different things. But I'm probably going to do one more tonight just to get things started, and let's get rolling. Let's go to the board, because we have to eliminate a team too. We have to get rid of the Carolina Panthers. Sorry, guys. Boom. We're only got these 14 teams left. Boom. Spin. Who is going to be the lucky team to actually be off? Oh, the New York Giants will be the team. Where will they be headed? They will be headed northwestish. Is that even anywhere? No, not really. We'll have to spin again for them, because that is clear into the ocean, or I guess in Canada in that case. Well, this is more southwestish, so that should be, I think it's clearly the Bills. I think we have a matchup of the New York Giants looking to claim all of New York against the Buffalo Bills. To be honest with you, I tuned out because like the New York Giants were up 30-10. Then I come back and look, I'm like, it's 2-minute warning left, and Buffalo has the ball, and they're only 1 score down with on the Giants' side of the ball or side of the field. It's now 3rd and 4. Buffalo just has to get a first down here, and they have a real shot at winning this game here. Giants had this won for a while, but Buffalo Bills came back here, and they may just get a victory. Oh my gosh, it's 4th down though. They have to convert right here, right now. If not, it's over. And well, I don't know about timeouts. I haven't paid attention. I walk away and do productive stuff while this goes on. But oh my gosh, it is over. 2 over 1 downs. Unless they manage to stop them 3rd and out, 3rd and done. But even then, I don't know if there's enough time. What about a minute left? They have 3 timeouts left. They might. Buffalo immediately got a timeout in. I'm very curious. Actually, I need to listen to the announcer, but him, where they going so fast? 2nd and 16. So are they gonna go for a pass? I don't know what you should do here. Good run, but you lost some yardage. Oh my gosh, they now have a timeout left? Oh, the Giants are just going to run out the clock. Oh no. Do they not have a fucking timeout left? If you're Giants, you just got to run the ball. Oh my gosh. They're going to have like maybe 10 seconds to respond. Then again, we just saw the Steelers do it. No, they do have no timeout. 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left. I wonder if they have one more timeout. I need to listen. And they're backed up from the punt, so could this be another punt return? We just saw it last game. Decent punt, though. Really good punt. Oh, about to say somebody met him right there. They might be able to get some quick plays off. Again, they need the end zone. They need the end zone. Nothing short of an end zone touchdown. End zone touchdown. End zone touchdown or touchdown end zone? Whatever. You know what I mean. They need... Oh, that was not good. They got to spike it or do something. 23 seconds left. 3rd and 1. Oh, this adrenaline is pumping. 23 seconds left. They need at least one first down. Spike it and then maybe go for the end zone. Decent yardage there. They might just be in good zone, but they got to spike it. They got to hurry up and spike. 10 seconds. 9 seconds. Okay. They have 2 shots at the end zone basically right now. They do quick fire. They could have a shot here. They got to go for the end zone right here, right now. They can't go. They don't have time to spike it again. They don't have time to spike it again. Oh, he's out of bounds. Oh no, 3 seconds left. One more play. Can Buffalo do it? Can Buffalo actually pull this off? This is going to be amazing. This will be the most amazing game if Buffalo can pull this off. But Giants are holding them. Just stop. Let's see what. Oh, hit while he's throwing. It's off the clock. 30-24. Giants take the victory. What a game, guys. Holy moly. We're seeing some good games near in the second half of this series. Giants are a heck of a team. Maybe a team to beat. The Bills just could not get it done, though. Your winners are the New York Giants. Come number 57, my favorite number, by the way, guys. Keith Newman to the Giants, and a much-needed defensive help for the Giants because overall their team is kind of suffering on the lower end. They have some good players overall, but they're kind of suffering on the low end. They did get an upgrade at free safety and free safety and left tackle as well, going from a 63 on both of them to a 68 on both of them. So some minor upgrades there, but still a long way to go for the Giants, especially this late in the game. But take a look at the updated map. 13 teams remain. A lot of interesting teams here. Some juggernauts immediately on the top of my head. I'm looking at Pittsburgh, Dolphins, Colts, and Tennessee Titans. Chargers are honestly just a regular good team too. Outside of that, the other teams, I will really need to prove something or do something quick before I can even say they're really in strong contention. But we do have a couple more things to do. Of course, we got to get rid of the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are officially out of this one. So 13 teams remain. We got to get the next matchup here in this round, which the New York Giants will be going again. So where will they be going this time? Will they be expanding maybe in their top right corner? Look like they're going straight up left, which will not be anybody. So we're going to spin again. Who else can they hit more, straight up there, it looks like. Unfortunately, cannot do that. Actually, hold up, wait. Yeah, no, we couldn't do that. Cool. Boom. All right, they look like they're going straight for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it looks like. Oh, that's definitely the Pittsburgh Steelers. 100%. We have a big game on hand. Giants at Steelers. Steelers have a lot to prove. If they win this, too, they're going to keep on snowballing. And I don't think the Giants is necessarily the team to do it. But, man, oh, man, the Steelers and the Giants. Oh, these are 2 juggernauts. But I think one's quite bigger than the other. Seen the Steelers many times, and the big 14 overall difference, but Carolina nearly did it. Can the Giants pull off this victory? You're about to find out in a couple seconds. I'm about to find out in like a couple days. Here we are with the final possible drive of the game, at least for the Pittsburgh Steelers, possibly. They have a minute and 53 seconds to get a touchdown. Touchdown wins them the game. Field goal does nothing. And more than likely, they're going to try to score on this drive because they have no guarantee of getting the ball back with the time remaining on the clock. Steelers have a good shot. The defense has played really good for the Steelers, but Giants have also kind of played up to the game of the Steelers. The defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers has really carried the ball game, while the Giants' offense has really been running wild, at least as much as they could with the Steelers' defense. So the Steelers' offense just blew the game for them. I'm about to say, like, dang, Steelers' offense needs to step up here, but It looks like the Steelers' offense actually is the one that screwed it up here. They still might have a slight shot, but probably not. Final score is probably going to end up being 19-13 or 22-13. We'll see in a second. And that interception did cost them big time. The Steelers did fall 22-13 to the New York Giants. We just saw a really bad, unfortunate end to the Steelers' run here. The Giants, though, are expanding even more into new territory as we are upgrading them to their 2 lowest starters and, of course, stealing a player from the Pittsburgh Steelers, which could help a lot on defense. And if you did notice, yes, I do have a red shirt on now. Actually, it's really bright in the camera, too, so it's going to be really noticeable, but oh well. But, yes, you did catch that. I'm recording this a little bit later than the other parts. So, anyway, beside the point. So here's the current state of the map. The Giants are heading down south a little bit to kind of go conquer some other territories, leaving the Patriots to their own devices a little bit. Maybe if enough good rolls for the Patriots, maybe they're able to kind of, avoid the Giants long enough to maybe boost up some of their players before having to fight them at least. Maybe like, 2 or 3 expansions that might help them quite a bit. But beside the point, speaking of the Giants getting actually better, Giants selected Joey Porter from the team. 27 difference between the starting right outside linebacker and any other position pretty much, so 27 boost there. Middle linebacker Ray Lewis, unfortunately, is now gone. He's been passed around a little bit, but he is now settled and good to go. Well, Joey Porter is moving to New York, or New Jersey, depending how you look at it. And the New York Giants are going to be more of a force to reckon with. The fullback and kicker are the 2 upgraded positions. It's not the best, but the kicker for the Giants did get a lot of kicks in this last game, so maybe the boost will kind of help him be more reliable as well and better in the game and longer field goals as well. So anyway, we have to keep on going. We got to keep on chugging along because we have only a few more matchups, or a few more teams left. I mean, this is not very many teams at all for looking here. Pittsburgh Steelers are now gone, so we got to deselect them from the wheel. And now we are spinning once again for the next team. Who is up next? The Kansas City Chiefs. What are they going to be doing here today? They haven't seen them in a hot minute. They expanded a couple times. But are they ready finally for a matchup? About Southwest here. Boom. Southwest. Ooh, going to be close, but I think they are going to be playing the Denver Broncos. So I'll see you in the Kansas City versus Denver Broncos. Also, just got very interesting with the Denver Broncos down 31-35, less than 2 minutes left, and they need a touchdown to, win the game. Not win the game, I guess, necessarily, but to at least get ahead. A field goal will not suffice on this drive. So if Denver Broncos want to stay in this, they need to get a touchdown pass. 1 minute, 51 seconds. I believe they have all their timeouts, so plenty of time here, but they just got to march down that field and consistently convert. That's going to be a really important part for them. Otherwise, Kansas City is going to walk away with this. But it's going to be very curious. The Denver offense, Denver defense are very balanced, but this has been a very heated game. Kansas City has really kept up and really stayed strong in this. But they do get the first down. Minute 44 left on the clock. No huddle, saving some of their timeouts for closer down. All they need to do is just march down consistently and get into the end zone, which was almost picked off there, deflected by Kansas City secondary there. This is going to be an intense game. Look at the Denver crowd, all very hyped right now. All the pixels there. And it's actually kind of interesting because I'm like, man, I haven't seen Denver Broncos do good in like forever. They haven't put up this many points in like forever. I'm sure it was very recently, but still, especially against Kansas City. This is something new to me. This is something different. 3rd and 10, though. The Denver Broncos do get deflected. They are on 4th down. They have to convert right here, right now. Otherwise, this game is all but over at that point. Because then Kansas City's already in field goal range, which basically solidifies at least Denver Broncos playing for an overtime if they make it quickly. But turnover on downs, Denver Broncos did not convert. It looks like our final score of this game is going to be 35-31 unless Denver can get a couple stops here, which we'll just go ahead and continue watching because if they get 1 first down, this game is pretty much over. Denver does have all 3 timeouts, but they do stuffle. Defense recovers. It's a fumble recovery. Denver Broncos are still in this game. The Denver Broncos did just get them the fumble. No challenge on the play. It's standing. Denver Broncos get a second chance at life right here, right now. Minute 14 left on the clock. Brian Grease steps back, intercepted, another turnover. Denver Broncos, man, never ends. It never ends. But now, again, repeating what we did last time, pretty much 1 first down will solidify the Kansas City's win here. Let's see. Oh, they do get a pretty good run, probably about 6 yards there, so 2nd and 4 probably. going on this. Well, Denver uses a timeout. No, 2nd and 6. My bad. I guess it wasn't as good of a run as I thought it was. But they're not in field goal range though, so that is a bright side for the Denver team here. So if they get one more stuff up, they have another shot here. If they just have to stop them right here, right now, unless Kansas City decides to go for it. Let's see what they can do here. Are they going to stop the run? Or could it be a pass? Was that a first down? Oh, it's going to be close. We're going to get a challenge on the play. Of course, I can't see it with no line there. But let's see what they end up determining. Is this a first down? They got 4th down. They got 4th down. Kansas City now has to choose whether they're going to punt or run this ball. Or throw it, I guess. You know, they can do whatever. But whether they're going to punt it or not. No. What? I'm confused about the challenges in this game. Okay. Now the game is over. Okay. I thought it was like a 4th down. Okay. You know what? This is staying in because it's going to show you some of the wonkiness of this game. I thought they didn't convert. I guess it was they didn't convert 4th down, I guess. Or they thought they didn't convert the first down. And so they said, oh, okay. Well, they didn't. But Denver challenged it, I think. Who knows? We love old Maddens for the great nostalgia gameplay, but maybe a little confusing at times with some of the things that go on in the game. Either way, final score 35-31. Kansas City Chiefs win this game, and we'll get their team improved. Looking at this map, Kansas City has a nice little bit of territory now, especially right in the middle of the map, but boarding a lot of good teams though. But low key, looking at this team of the Kansas City Chiefs, especially with their new addition in terms of wide receiver of Rod Smith, really improving the wide receiver 2, who I think actually becomes wide receiver 1, to be honest with you. And plus, with Kansas City not having anybody in the 60s to start off with, or at least not to start off with, but at this point in the whole shebang of NFL Imperialism. They actually increased their, if I can find it, their right end from a 72-75 and their strong safeties from a 71-76. But they have a lot of solid players in the 80s and, you know, kind of mid-70s at this point now. So Kansas City actually has a low-key good team who might be able to scare some of these stronger teams. Either way, though, with the Denver Broncos off the board and Kansas City claiming that territory, we now have to find our next matchup. And there's only 11 teams left on this. And New England Patriots, we have not seen from them, but they have either expansion time or they're going to go straight into a fight with the Giants, which is just more northeast, which I don't think it probably is expansion. So let me just get that clarification, show the map and everything as well. So give me 1 second. There's the Patriots, a little expansion here, and they did get some upgrades. And actually, low key, you know, I forget how good the Patriots team is overall. Like, it doesn't have like the highest like overall or like the best players, even especially right now with Tom Brady only being 84 overall. But I mean, their tight end went from a 73 to a 78. They had a couple other players, a left end and D tackle from a 72-75. A lot of the players just kind of good. A couple 73s, but a lot of consistently upper 70s, lower 80s players. So this team is overall rounded very well. So they might have a shot against any team they play, even against some of the juggernauts. So, and we have some tough teams left in this NFL Imperialism. But, whoops, that's a mozzarella Firefox. I'm keeping that in. That's actually really funny. We have the wheel to spin once again because we do have to find a matchup for a team here. And the Cincinnati Bengals, we have yet to see them. I think we've seen almost every team now except for the Cardinals and 49ers. I think that's the only teams we haven't seen. Either way, the Bengals will be facing off against one of the tough teams, and they might have a tough time at Southwest. Oops, let's get out of the Patriots here. Zoom out of them. Boop. Southwest, I think, will pretty easily be the Tennessee Titans. So it's going to be Bengals versus Tennessee Titans. It's going to be a huge matchup for the Bengals because it's their first appearance. But just to clarify before we go into this, the 49ers and Cardinals are the only other teams we have not seen so far. So the Bengals have their first matchup with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The winner of this will go into the top 10. See you guys at the menu screen. Oh, I got distracted here. Since Tennessee is only up 27-22, Cincinnati has the ball. 2nd and 10, basically the midfield with 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Cincinnati has a chance in this game. Tennessee was up by like 2 scores like few minutes ago, and I turned away and I was like, it'll be fine, the game's pretty much over. But Cincinnati has the ball back. They have a chance to win this. They need a touchdown, and they're almost within the red zone. They're within 25 yards. So within 25 yards with under a minute remaining, 22-27. Oh my gosh, but the pressure from Tennessee's defense might be a little too much for Cincinnati, but they are still in this game. 2nd and 10. 53 seconds remaining. I even got my sun drop, bro. Like, I don't drink sun drop very often, but like, man, this stuff is good. But man, this game. Ooh, no, out of bounds though. 3rd and 10. 51 seconds left. They still have some time though. Convert and then use a timeout, and they should be good. It's a matchup here. Cincinnati. Snap the ball. 3rd and 10. Batted down by Tennessee. It's now 4th and 10. They have to at least get a conversion here. If not, find the end zone. That's also pretty nice too. 4th and 10. Tennessee gets a stop. They basically have won the NFL. This NFL Imperialism matchup made it to top 10. Is a turnover on downs. Game is over. Tennessee has won 27-22, and is moving on to the top 10 teams left in NFL Imperialism. And welcome Takio from Call of Duty Zombies to the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, no, it's not. Obviously, no, it's not Takio from the Call of Duty Zombies. That'd be way too overpowered for the Tennessee Titans. But we do have Spikes, the right outside linebacker, coming to Tennessee to greatly improve the linebacking position by about 18 points. So trying to get a little diminishing returns there. Also upgrade the cornerback and D tackle from a 72 to 77 and a 73 to 78 respectively. Tennessee has just been gradually getting really, really good matchups, winning these games and really improving their team to really give them an edge. And showcasing from the map here, of course, they took over Cincinnati's area. Very little added to them, but now we are in the top 10 teams. All of these teams have pretty significant land margin, except for maybe the Patriots. But everybody has a lot of land. A couple people have had some matchups here, but it's been pretty interesting here. I think most teams have at least fought one matchup. 49ers, Cardinals, I don't believe Seahawks have either. Patriots have not yet, so we still have some juggernaut teams. Like right here, I'm very interested in what's going to happen between the Colts, Titans, the Giants, and the Dolphins. By the way, a lot of blue teams still left. Like more than half of the teams are blue. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But we have to go into our top 10 spin, and we have to eliminate the Cincinnati Bengals, who unfortunately have been eliminated. But they, of course, have lasted this long, so good for them. But top 10 teams, who is up next? The Colts are back up. We haven't seen them in a hot minute, I believe. They have a really good offense, improved their defense pretty decently, but they're going pretty much down south. And that's going to be a divisional matchup of the Indianapolis Colts heading to Tennessee. And this will be a big one because this is one of our juggernauts. Whoever wins this might be improved enough to maybe take away the game or maybe at least give them a really improved chances. Colts versus Titans. Very, very good matchup. And even when we go to the screen, I'm kind of curious how they're going to match up against each other. Well, too little, too late. Peyton Manning got hurt like a play ago or something like that. Colts have 2 seconds. It is literally impossible for them to actually win this game. Tennessee Titans have won this game 31-14. Very impressive fashion. Still love NFL Imperialism, but love how the two juggernauts facing off ended up Tennessee just destroying them. And is this the seed for things to come for the rest of NFL Imperialism? The rest of this video, Tennessee Titans going to run away with it? Because they might be getting to the unstoppable part of the game, or they may just be rolling and rolling and rolling. But nevertheless, they gained some territory, and so we're heading to the map. And Tennessee has officially made a big line in between the west and the east coast of this U.S. map, making Seattle, 49ers, Chargers, Cardinals, and Chiefs unable to reach the Patriots, Giants, and Dolphins, and unless you want to go through the Titans first. So we're at this point in the matchup where the Titans are now owning that middle part and are really the big juggernaut in this game. And honestly, it's hard to say that they aren't based on their teams. They got a big weapon. One of the big things they were lacking on the team was a big weapon, and Marvin Harrison's going to come in, team up with Steve McNair here, and whoops, forgot I have to actually click this, not that button. Come in with Steve McNair, give him an actual target besides just Eddie George on the ground, and Frank Wycheck, I think is it? I forgot exactly. But their defense even got improved with the right outside linebacker, the left outside linebacker going up 5 overall, as well as a D tackle, the 81 overall came up from a 76. This team, it's hard to say Titans are not a favorite to win this. Obviously, there's still a lot that can happen, and they have to win match after match if they're gonna, face off. But they've been the team to beat this game. Very surprisingly so too. I don't think I would have said Tennessee Titans are the favorite to win this so far, but they are becoming a juggernaut here, and other teams have to pick up somewhere, either with expansions or by beating other teams to collect better players, to collect them all, if you would say. But with that, of course, we have to eliminate the Indianapolis Colts from that divisional matchup here, and we are down to 9 teams. 9 teams, 9 with hopes and dreams. Who is up next? maybe the San Diego, nope, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, who do have a shot at possibly facing the juggernauts of this matchup. If they go anywhere pretty much east, southeast, that might be close. That's easily Chiefs. People just want to line up and take on the Titans. Who are the Titans going to lose? Like, they just have to lose one of these matchups and they're out, and then it becomes a lot easier for teams to actually come. I mean, at this point, if I'm looking at the teams here, Kansas City has an underrated team. Dolphins have a pretty good team. Giants have a pretty good team. Chargers and Patriots have like a decently good laid out team there. 49ers, a little bit probably one of the weaker sides. The Cardinals probably have just been hanging in there purely based on luck. Seattle probably on the weaker side of things. So there's some teams that can still upset the Titans here. And it's going to be kind of exciting because Kansas City's one of those teams. Again, if they lose to the Titans are going to keep on exponentially going up. And who knows what could happen with the increases to the team overall. I mean, the last one, Marvin Harrison, was a 19 overall upgrade wide receiver. Kansas City could also really use the buff. They could really use a win against Tennessee to upgrade their players and also get a big advantage on their offensive or defensive side of things. Either way, I wonder how their overalls are stacking up. I did say I love NFL imperialism, and that even means when I see a team absolutely stomp another. Chiefs are a very good team, and they start off the first half ahead. First quarter and a half probably. But by halftime, it was pretty much neck and neck, and then Tennessee just ran away with this. Tennessee, 47 to Kansas City's 19. That is insane at this deep stage in the game when the teams are actually looking pretty good. Tennessee might just be that good. Kansas City's all but done here, pretty much. I mean, there's no way they can get that many points that quickly. Final score, 47-19, man. I just realized, I really said that twice in a row without even realizing of saying I love NFL imperialism, but man, a good team getting stomped over by another good team. Kind of said like the same vein of item two times in a row, both the Colts game and Chiefs game against the Titans. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, beside the point, that was a really bad reference I just put out there from The Incredibles, but whatever. Rolling with the flow. Either way, we're seeing Tennessee just absolutely take over the United States. Basically, they feel like they already own NFL imperialism from the state of the board right now. Teams are like lining up to, basically say, all right, who's next? That, basically with Tennessee Titans. And honestly, again, with their team, look out. I mean, the right guard was the lowest position, and it's now being filled up by 97 overall Will Shields. Pretty easily coming over from the Chiefs. And, I mean, they boosted up their cornerback and a kicker. The cornerback went from a 77 to an 82, and the kicker went from a 75 to an 80. So, lowest overall people were 78 and a 79, and the rest are in 80s. We don't have many 90s or, upper 90s, as other teams do, but this is a very solidly rounded out team at this point. And it may be hard for any team to take them out at this point, but, we still got to go through with it. We still got to see, because we're in the final 8. And this is basically, at this point, the divisional round. We got through the wild card, and now we're in the divisional round with New England Patriots. We'll see what they do here. See if they expand some more. Southwest, it looks like they're going. I think that's going to be a pretty easy expansion. I'm not going to really question it too much here because, I'm going to test that out real quick. Because I do go, just for kind of posterity's sake. Is that the right word? Probably. Sorry, it's getting a little bit later here. I'm trying to finish up these recordings tonight, but I may not do that, to be honest with you. So I go from about this section of the thing. I kind of find about the middle of the logo, which is about right here-ish, and about the middle of it. It's probably a little bit lower than this. So I use this about as a trajectory here, and that might just be close enough to actually skip by the little logo here, the little thing. I do now. It does clip a corner and kind of go over a black part. I count it, but I don't really count it as white. Just hitting the white. I kind of count it as the black. Black's basically the border anyway. So let me check this out real quick, and I'll get back to you with possibly a menu screen or just with upgraded players. Who knows? Really overthought that, to be honest with you. It was pretty easily actually an expansion. It really wasn't even close to possibly skidding along the lines. The angle was not there at all. So I did upgrade their players, and it turned out their whole defensive line in terms of linebackers, the outside linebacker, middle linebacker, and the left outside linebacker. By the way, just a little fun little tidbit. Mike Variable. There we go. Just anybody who appreciates that little Mike Variable action. Thought showcase he got from a 73 to a 78. as well as, whoops, keep on clicking the wrong button. Teddy Bruschi, 73 to 78, and then Roman Pfeiffer, 74 to 79. Free safety was also tied with him, so I just chose him because the linemen need a little bit more of a, or defensive linebackers need a little bit more of a boost in the secondary. So Patriots still looking kind of solid though overall, with their overalls kind of getting more and more averagely higher to put them into contention against some of these tougher teams. So even though it's only small territories they're collecting, they are collecting some territories to boost up their team. But with that, they only expanded, so we still need to find another matchup, or a matchup, I guess. And we have the San Francisco 49ers, the first team, or first time we've seen this team, period, in NFL Imperialism so far. So they're going to be in a matchup against either Seattle or Chargers, who haven't been seen in a while either. Arizona is now officially the longest team to not have done anything in this NFL Imperialism. So congratulations, Arizona. Boom. Claps and claps all around for not either being landed on or attacked this whole time. Fun facts. Beside the point, we will now spin the wheel, because I forgot to do that before I left the thing. We'll see where they kind of are going to go. They're kind of attacking. I don't know if that's going to necessarily work out for them. I think that's pretty clearly out, but I'm going to check, and then I'll keep on spinning. I'll cut in and out, I guess. We'll see. That way it's whatever. You guys get it. Here to do the spin again for the 49ers, because it went right into the ocean. Pretty similar result here, I believe. In my mechanism, I determined that it was out into the ocean, as was the other one. I used it real quick just to be sure the angle wasn't weird. I like being sure of my angles. Of course, with my very intelligent, not totally paper of a note card or my pencil to put up against my monitor and check to see if the angle and direction all cuts out. It's actually a trajectory system I built into a database that helps me figure this all out, and I'm totally not talking out my ass right now about something that's, know nothing about. Anyway, they're going straight north this time, which will be a matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. Again, I don't think we've seen them in an actual matchup. So 49ers versus Seahawks in the first matchup of the game. Maybe one of them winning will actually put the other in contention in this NFL Imperialism. Either way, one team will be going out. This matchup is quite close because of just a little over 2 minutes remaining. Seahawks have the ball. It's 20-20. And all the Seahawks have to do is march down, kill the clock, and make sure they just run the timeout. Kill the clock, run the timeout, kick a field goal, be done and good. Seahawks have the full advantage here. 49ers, though, can get a stop here at 3rd and 10, and they could gain the advantage instead. Still 2-minute warning still left on the clock for both these teams, whoever has control of the ball at the time. So that could be a good utilization, but it is now 4th down for the Seahawks. They'll probably elect to punt, and the 49ers will have a chance to now take advantage of this situation. 2-minute warning left. And the 49ers have all 3 timeouts, so enough time to march down the field, kill the clock from there, and then go from there. That's just how it's going to go. Good hang time. Oh, fast return, though. Almost pretty much midfield there from the 49ers. Good to see. See if the 49ers can answer and basically take this game home. 49ers versus Seahawks. Seahawks do have a couple of improvements from their team that I neglected to point out earlier. They had a few expansions, I think 2 or 3 of them. And, of course, facing off against the 49ers here, they are slightly improved to be able to match up to the 49ers, who also already have a good roster. But this is going to be very intriguing to see if those upgrades are actually going to help them here defensively. But it looks like they might just be within field goal range. About 30-yard line, that's about, what, a 47-yard field goal? That's easily doable. So Seahawks are kind of against the grain here a little bit. It's still maybe an uncomfortable spot for the 49ers, but if they get within 35, even 40 maybe, then it's pretty much lights out from here for the Seattle Seahawks, which they just have to run. They have 1 timeout remaining. So Seattle has one more first down from the 49ers. Will basically secure this game and secure the bag. And let's see what happens here. See if they get the first down or how many yards they gain. Oh, almost stopped them, but still good there. So they're going to run the clock pretty much down to, if they don't get the first down here, probably to about the 40-second mark. After the punt and everything, or after the kick and everything, after the kick and kickoff, field goal and kickoff, I should say. So there is a 4th down. They're going to run this down probably to about 40-second mark, roughly 25 seconds. So yeah, about 40-second mark after they make the field goal. Assuming they make the field goal, they really need to make this. Was this Cortez, I believe, is the kicker? They're going to run it all the way to about the 5 seconds on the playtime clock in the bottom right corner. Ooh, that got me a little nervous. Like, whoa. So 40 seconds remaining, still kickoff. Seahawks still have a decent chance to score here. 40 seconds is not not like a short amount of time, but it's not like a long amount of time for a 2-minute drill. So they have a little bit of time to spare here. Depending on their return, maybe they can gain a little bit of advantage. With 37 seconds left. We'll see. This is going to be an intriguing matchup. Seahawks definitely have a shot here. Not necessarily have to get a touchdown. They just have to get within field goal range. Which, nice little drive down the middle. Go quickly and spike it. Maybe 25 seconds left? 24? Okay, 24 seconds left. Not too bad for a nice little gain there. They just have to get within like the 45 yard-ish, so like 35, 40 yard of the other side, which is pretty much just a 15, 20 yard gain here for the Seattle Seahawks. Just to be able to go to overtime. We have yet to see an overtime game, I believe, which comes down with it. They are within field goal range. They are now playing to see if they can get the win right here before overtime starts. So they can just take shots at it. But they spike it, 7 seconds remaining. Are they going to just chance it for a shot at the end zone, or are they going to actually... Okay, they're actually just going to take the field goal, going to overtime. First overtime we will see in Madden 2003. This is quite intriguing here. Kick is good. That made me nervous the way it was kind of the kick power there. I don't know if this game's graphics throw me off in that way, but we're going into overtime here. The first overtime, and we're in the what's called final 8 of the teams with Seattle and 49ers. So very intriguing here. So wow. But we're going to overtime officially. That kickoff did not do anything. So end of fourth quarter, we're now going to the unofficial, well, I guess official fifth quarter, or unofficial fifth quarter. Unofficial fifth quarter, I guess it's called. I don't know. But 49ers will be receiving the ball here. And back in these games, it was a touchdown to finish it. Field goal, you get a chance to respond. So remember that for the sake of this. Because I think up until Madden 24, it is just in overtime a touchdown to end. Actually, Madden 24's only playoff rule. So we'll probably keep that as a regular season rule. Maybe with the last game of Imperialism being like if it goes in overtime. Playoff rules, I guess. We'll see and deal with that when we get there, but we're still far away off from making it all the way to Madden 24. So Madden 2003, though, still we got to find a crown champion for the first round here, and we have some pretty good teams kind of lined up left as we're kind of letting this overtime go. We have some pretty good and dominant teams left. 49ers, Seahawks both have a good shot at this. Patriots do. Titans have been a really big monster in this matchup, and Miami hasn't been seen in a hot minute. Chargers, they are also out there. Cardinals been hanging in there. They're kind of a team that snuck in to the final 8, so good average for them. But 49ers, by the way, marching down the field. 3rd and 7 they had, and then they converted it, and now, wow, 218 yards on the right side of the field for the 49ers here. This is very good. Jeff Garcia, I believe, is the quarterback at the time for the 49ers. So 2nd and 1, so pretty good. Nice little run, get the first down easy. Good to go. Good amount of tackles, though, for the strong safety. I don't know if your safety and corners maybe getting a bunch of tackles is necessarily good, but it's not, I guess, awful. And, 49ers technically could just burn out all the clock, too, technically, if they're able to efficiently go down. But instead, they get sacked, which, I mean, I guess is technically still burning the clock, but first sack of the game for, I didn't even check his name, going so fast here, 200%. It's, better than Super Sim in a lot of ways, but because you actually get to watch the plays like this. But either way, still moving forward. Jeff Garcia throws it down, middle of the field, incomplete. They're now 3rd and, what was it again for after the sack? 3rd and 16, 3rd and 15? Let's see, 3rd and 13. Wow, I definitely overestimated the sack yardage there. Boom, oh, quick pass though, 4th down. Jeff Garcia did get injured there, and injuries are on in this game, but obviously they don't have long-term implications, just the game-wise implications. So they will be punting. So Seattle, field goal range, wins them this game. Can Seattle actually do this? I don't know where exactly that landed at. 17-yard line, I want to say. No, wow. Like 10 more yards, actually. 27 yards. Oh, wow. No, it's a lot further. No, wait. Inverse. I got turned around there. Either way, wow, drop pass there. Dilfer. Flip. Dilfer, I barely knew her. Let's see, Hutchinson, too. Aiden Hutchinson in this game? I'm just, it's a joke, guys. I promise. Just trying to entertain this because I actually am enjoying this drive a little bit. I'm actually enjoying the intensity. Drop pass, though, again. Man, hopefully, I didn't even think about this, but hopefully this has a double overtime feature because I'm not too sure what I'll do if we don't have a winner here. Maybe just replay the match and just whoever wins again. So I don't know. That's a good question. But either way, 49ers get a chance to respond here. Again, the Seahawks got knocked out of there real quick, so we'll see what the 49ers can do. I think Jeff Garcia might still be hurt, so they might have the backup 49ers QB here, which I don't know who he is at the time. Pretty not good punt, though, from the Seahawks, which already puts them at the midfield mark pretty much. Lots of yards offensively for both these teams. Almost 400 for one of them and over 400 for the other. Going so fast, I can't even process which at this point. I'm guessing the 49ers have had a lot more offensive productivity here. Oh, their total passing offense, why they even add all that up. Again, stats go by so quickly. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. Nice. Left in this overtime quarter. But we're now on the Seahawks side of the field, so they just need to gain about 10 to 15 more yards. The 49ers will be pretty much guaranteed to win this, probably more comfortably 15 to 20 yards to actually get within field goal range in the late or at least earlier games. The kicking power isn't as strong as the 66 yards we can get in Madden 24, Madden 23 type era. More comfortably 50-ish is kind of where those kickers kind of extend to, 53, 54 maybe. Well, more than that, more in the 57 range, more accurately, I should say. But either way, we do have a penalty, though, was declined. So offense did get that and is nice in advancing on the field here still. They both have 2 timeouts. Remember that for the overtime quarters. So that's very significant in terms of clock management here. It was a completed pass, though, and that pretty much puts them within nice little kicking territory. 48 yards, still kind of uncomfortable, but not like the worst kick that you would have to do. So just a couple of good run plays, but they're electing to pass it instead. Very interesting from the new, considering a field goal wins in the game. But that's Madden for you. I guess Madden simulation has developed very nicely, or at least very consistently, in terms of not at all, in a lot of ways. Either way, let's see what they do here. Quarterback drops back. He is a left-handed quarterback, though, by the way. Interestingly enough, the backup of the 49ers at this time was a left-handed quarterback. Interesting. Either way, this is still, I would still run the ball here, but they are just seeing if they can get within really comfortable territory for their kicker. But no, they actually lose some yardage here, so it might be more closer to a 50-yarder now, 51-yarder maybe. Let's see what they choose to do here. The kicker have Cortez. Let's see, this is a 4th and 13. I think this is about 51-yarder. It was no good, though. It was no good. I don't know how long necessarily that was, but it was about 50, 51, so 39, 49. Ooh, no, it was well over that, I think. Wow, they went for a long one there because it was about 58 yards, I think, seeing where the line of scrimmage was. So, interesting. But Trent Dilfer is now down. Heaven forbid, all the injuries are taking all the good players at this point. 2nd and 16 for the Seahawks, though. This might be a little bit troublesome for both these teams at the end of this overtime quarter. Neither one of them was able to score. Now they're hurrying up. 3rd and 12. Seahawks trying to take advantage of it now, but they're swatted down. Seahawks immediately go 4 and out once again. 49ers get another chance to respond. We're using every bit of the first overtime we've seen in NFL Imperialism, and especially true for NFL Imperialism Madden 2003 edition. It's, of course, in the Seahawks home category here, home stadium here. So the Seahawks should have a slight advantage. I don't know if that's how much of a factor that plays into it for these earlier games. But 49ers still have to march down quite a bit of the field in a short amount of time. If they only advanced the ball more effectively earlier, they might have been able to do something a little bit better. 1:30 left in this overtime quarter. Let's see. Nope, incomplete on the right side of the field. 3rd and 1 it will be. The crowd is chanting defense. All 5 pixels of them. Up and down, up and down. I need to look in the crowds a little bit more. I wonder if how different the crowds are for per stadium. But it's 4th down, so Seahawks now get a chance to respond. Not going to use one of their timeouts. Going to let the 49ers drain the clock, see if they can either tie this game or take it in a double overtime. If it does go just end, I'll just repeat the game. I'll just consider it a wash and just say repeat the game and show you the end result. I won't show you the final drive or anything, since this is the considered the first one. The tiebreaker will just be whoever wins the next game of Madden, basically. I think that will be a decently fair one. But the 49ers, we might not be needing... Oh, wait. Hold up. I'm confused with the Madden's penalties and when all these occur. But, okay, 49ers do get the ball, but it wasn't as far down. So the 49ers still have a chance. They pretty much were almost guaranteed a field goal shot at the very least with that before the penalty. But now with the penalty, they are now at this midfield mark, which is still a good place to be, 2nd and inches especially. And they are pretty close to getting within field goal range, but they still have a little bit more work to do. They have to get about 15, 20 more yards for a good field goal. At least another attempt one at least. A good spike there for the 49ers. 31 seconds left. Really their last shot at really getting there to the end zone or to field goal range. All they need. 31 seconds remaining for this win. And backup quarterback for the 49ers as well. Probably a little bit more of a janky one. I said wanky. Don't question that. Don't clip that. But is a completed pass there. I'm not too sure to which receiver because I cannot read at this fast. But now they are comfortably within field goal range. All they got to do now is just comfortably run out this clock and do something. Maybe get a little bit closer. There we go. Seattle is trying to give themselves any bit of time, but with only 2 timeouts in the overtime quarters. It doesn't really matter anyway. So they're just going to take the kick anyway. That's actually really smart because they can't even ice them anymore, which I don't know if icing has any categories here. But either way, San Francisco does take the overtime win here, 26-23 in our first ever overtime matchup. Very intense, very cool matchup. 26-23, 49ers win this, and they get the upgrades and the territory. And good to see that we have a nice little overtime thing here. Overtime thing. Oh, Terrell Owens was, of course, on the 49ers, which actually helps a lot. But very interesting for our first overtime actual matchup, and we'll see how often those overtimes actually occur, which is actually very curious. Nice little thought experiment, too, of how often ties, overtimes all occur. But either way, let's get to the map. 2 comments to make here. One, I know the 49ers logo, this is the 2002 49ers logo, but it's also transparent because I had to do a background remover because I suck with Photoshop. But you cannot tell me that the gold within the SF is not so much cooler than the white in between it. So I think that should be a new logo. But beside the point, that's just my own opinion. But who listens to me? Another one is we have 4 AFC teams, and before that matchup, we had 4 NFC teams, and now we only have 3, of course. But with the 49ers claiming that Northwest territory, they actually could have a lot of room to maneuver to kind of expand a little bit, and don't have like a big, heavy matchup really right by them. Chargers are a decent matchup, so they could come out of the woodworks. But we're down to our final 7. And very intriguing, of course. Now we have to show off, obviously, Sean Springs from the corner from the Seahawks actually heading to the San Francisco 49ers to improve their team. Plus, if you didn't notice in that overtime matchup, it looked like the kicker for the 49ers needed some help, and as well as the punter. So they both actually rose in overall since they're the 2 lowest players, 64 and 69, I believe, or 66, 64 and 66, that's what it was. And so they rose up to 69 and a 71. I know I do math. So maybe they can do a little bit better consistently. So there we go. And it helps the secondary out a lot considering the upgrade was about plus 25 from Jason Webster as the number 2. And now Sean Springs is the new number 1. Either way, we are going back to the wheel here to eliminate the Seattle Seahawks. Thank you for playing. Down to our final 7. The Arizona Cardinals are here still. Maybe one of the teams that are one of the more bogus ones. I think every other team aside from the Arizona Cardinals really has a strong chance of winning this, or a good chance at least. Tennessee Titans, I'd say my odds are a little bit higher than the others, of course. But maybe New England can kind of get something going here. They're going northwest, so we're going to see exactly where they're going. But I think that's pretty comfortably going to hit one or the other. The territory of the New York Giants, as you see here, they kind of have this weird part, where that little lip goes. So it's pretty comfortably going to hit territory. The Patriots are finally heading against New York because they are pretty much surrounded from the whole side, unless they went kind of like southeast or north or east even. But they're going to New York to face off against Giants, who may be a tough team for the Patriots to beat, and especially historically in real life. We've seen it. Giants have a shot here to basically end the game, and all they have to do is really just get about 15 to 20 more yards. With one good pass, this game could be over for the New England Patriots, and they could be kicked out of Imperialism, especially being one of the best franchises in the Madden series history, at least. So this would be a very big upset. Giants would just have a solidified number on the Patriots, and at this point, wow, all they have to do now is run the clock out. The Patriots have to figure out something to stop them out, to stop them, and get them into an advantage where they can at least have a shot at hitting the end zone, hitting a field goal, something to keep them in this game. Because New York Giants, with a field goal, win by 1 point. New England, with a field goal, could really take the lead again, or with a touchdown. But it doesn't matter. The New York Giants score a touchdown, maybe a little too quickly for their own liking, with 1:25 left on the clock. And they'll be up about 4 points, meaning that New England has to answer with a touchdown. Meaning the New England Patriots, 25, I guess they're going for 2 just in case the, okay, I see. Okay. If they got it, they would have been within 6 points, so in case of, they miss an extra point. that would have gave them the win. So okay, fair point. Fair point, Giants. Good call there, because they even realized that, they'd be 5 points actually. But beside the point, New England still has to get a touchdown to win the game. Field goal's not enough. They won't have enough time for a second drive, more than likely, I should say. Shouldn't say that for anything definite. But I believe they still have 2 timeouts left here. Minute 21 on the clock. Still a good amount of time. They don't have to rush too hard. They just cannot make big mistakes. Cannot make big mistakes at all. By the way, got myself a little bit of water now. Oh, camera's gonna go crazy. Hopefully the lighting ain't crazy. If you like Mio Energy, by the way, I'm not sponsored at all, but love me some good old Mio. Boom. Oh, that lighting's gonna suck for you guys. There you go, Mio Energy. Love me some Mio. It's a nice little healthy alternative to sodas and stuff like that, which I'm trying to limit on. I've realized my grocery budget for the month is quite big. This is really becoming me talking session as we're kind of watching the final drive of the game too, for games that are close, which in the beginning was not really any game at all, but these games are starting to get a lot closer, which is good. But New England, 55 seconds left. Oh, was he actually down before he went out? Dang. Sucks for them to have to burn time out there. But they are now within the 30-yard line already. So nice little march that New England's doing here. Maybe a little quickly too, honestly. Oh, they're gonna burn the nice little bit of clock here with the no huddle here. Oh, they actually spiked it too with 3rd and 5. I don't know if I would do that there, but fair enough. Put some ice in here too. Like crunching ice, bro. Flavored ice too. After you get it in there. Oh, nice little spin move. Who's that? Patton? Oh my gosh, dude. That was nasty. That was freaking nasty. Okay, going for an extra point here, meaning New York Giants can answer with the field goal to tie and put into overtime. Imagine having 2 overtime games in a row. Oh my god. This video will be going forever, because I'm probably going to put this whole thing in here. This will be a 2-hour video. I wonder if y'all would like that. I don't know how good views that would get. Is NFL Imperialism that popular? Well, trial and error is what I will say here. But either way, New York Giants can answer with a field goal. Ideally, a touchdown here. I believe they also have a majority of their timeouts left as well, if not all of them. 34 seconds left, though. It's not a whole lot of time, even with timeouts. So they'll have to do something here. Kerry Collins, of course. Oh, almost threw a pick there. That would not have been good. 31 seconds, 2nd and 10, deep in their own territory. Whew. This could get really intense real quick for the New York Giants. They're not able to do something pretty quickly here. Actually, didn't we just have a 26-23 game? We did just have a 26-23 game. Whoa, that was like a spin move, like a 360 no-scope type deal there from Kerry Collins. That would have been really dope if he actually threw that and actually made that, So you can tell it's getting really late, because now I'm rambling on about a lot of things. I need a podcast to ramble on things. Easily a lot of time, though, in the pocket, but he was tackled in. Using a timeout, 21 seconds remaining, still in their own territory. Comfortably, they need to get within that 35-yard line. And even, I don't know if that's really comfortable per se. More like 30-yard line, more comfortability. But they are on the midfield, using the second timeout there. So really, until they get within goal line, or goal range, field goal range, they really can't afford to use that last time out. So we'll see if they can get a nice little good deep pass here. Incomplete, 15 seconds left. That's not too bad. They just have to do one good pass down the field. Either that or one good, a couple good sideline passes where they can stop the clock. Whoa, what am I doing here? Whoa, where'd the game go? So my bad, guys. Heads up here. My storage ran out in the middle of recording, so I didn't get to record the last 3 plays of the game. So it was 2nd and 10 was what the play. Basically what happened was Kerry Collins threw 3 incomplete passes. One was towards the end zone and was pretty close, but was swatted away. I believe 2 of them were deflections, while one was an uncatchable throw. So the Giants did not win. The Patriots ended up winning 26-23. That was the final score of that. I want to make sure I didn't put it on screen so you didn't oh wow, oh that's the spoiler. But yeah, the Patriots did win 26-23. Because the Giants were just out of field goal range, and they just were not able to convert anything. The time ran out too fast. It's simple to the point. So unfortunately, I can't really prove it with anything, because I noticed it after I already clicked off the menu. So I apologize for that. But the Patriots did win. So we already updated all the map and got the Michael Strahan, who is going to be the new addition to the Patriots here, making the team very, very good, or even better already, I guess. And the upgraded people actually go to the D tackle and free safety of the Patriots as well, making them up into the 80s, except for the free safety, who's a 79. The D tackle is a 80 exactly. And if we go see the updated map here, the Patriots logo kind of looks a little wonky, doesn't it? Just extend it. There you go. And we'll move them a little bit. There you go. They did, like I said, they took over the territory over against Giants. Very close matchup, though. The Giants were very close, but just not enough time on the clock to really capitalize. So as we see, the Patriots are now taking over their territory. We're going to head down to 3 AFC, 3 NFC teams. Weirdly enough, no, wait. Oh, that's right. That was an AFC versus NFC matchup. So we're actually in the 4 AFC, 2 NFC. See, I'm already messing up. See, that whole recording got my brain all fried. But, yeah, we're down to 4 AFC teams, 2 NFC teams, and we're almost done. We're in the final 6 already. Very good teams here. Every team really has a strong shot, except for Arizona, I'd say. But you never know. Arizona could upset. Never know. Beside the point, the show must go on, even with a recording malfunction there. Again, apologies, guys. Please, I got plenty of space now. I'm going to keep an eye on that for the future. But we're going to eliminate the New York Giants from contention here and roll for the next team here. Arizona Cardinals, we're actually going to get to see them. We're going to get to see the Arizona Cardinals. Heck yes. We're going to spin the wheel here and see what direction they're going to be in. And they're going kind of northeastish. So they are going to just expand. They're going to add some overall to their team a little bit. Okay, I like this. Arizona, you're getting some upgrades. Who gets a little bit of upgrade. I think they got all their 50 overall players into the 60s now for their left ends, their D tackle, and the cornerback, not quarterback. I should clarify to make sure I'm pronunciating right. Corner went from a 57 to a 62, D tackle from a 56 to a 61, and left end from a 58 to a 63. It's some improvements. They need to kind of make their team a little bit overall better. And if we look at the map here, of course, I updated their land mass. Now they are connecting with one of the big juggernauts of the matchup, pretty much completely. I guess there was a slight chance they could hit that corner, I guess, directly on, but very small chance. Either way, they did expand, but we do have to go and spin again, see another team kind of take the reins here. And it looks like New England Patriots, once again, will be going up. And maybe the expansion, maybe just, maybe they want to face off. It's pretty much almost west, a little bit more north in the western. But that's pretty much guaranteed to beat Titans. New England decides they want to take on the juggernaut that's been dominating this game and say, hey, no, we actually exist. We're the AFC guys here. We're going to have a matchup from New England against Tennessee. And this time, we're going to record the whole matchup. And with that, the Patriots are lining up. They lined up, snapped their last play pretty much. 2nd and 10, 2 seconds left, down 3 scores. The Patriots have fallen to the Tennessee Titans. And a very monumental, again, matchup with Tennessee, taking another big win over a good team. 0 seconds left. Maybe they get a redemption touchdown, but they don't. Final score will be 38-16. Tennessee Titans about to get some major upgrades and further solidifying them in this NFL imperialism. Tennessee continues to expand and expand, making up only the Dolphins on the right side. So the Dolphins have no choice but to fight the Titans when that inevitable battle does come. Or against the team that beats the Titans. Either way, Tennessee Titans have been dominating this whole freaking NFL imperialism, and now they're adding even more big power to their team with Michael Strahan coming over to Tennessee, making him very big in the cap room, negative in the cap room here. But it doesn't matter for NFL imperialism. Does not matter. But it does matter. Spinning the wheel once again to find out what team will be next up. Who will they expand? Will they have a matchup? Who will be attacking? Of course, it's got to be the Tennessee Titans. It wouldn't be NFL imperialism without Tennessee Titans. NFL imperialism 2003 without the Tennessee Titans. They're going southwest here. Doesn't look like it's going to hit anything, but I'm going to measure it out to make sure. It was not anything, so we are going to spin again. It went right past the Cardinals, which I think this one goes right past everything anyway as well, because it goes more this way. But yeah, it went right by the Cardinals. So we got to spin again for the Tennessee Titans until they hit something. That's not hitting anything either. It's hitting Mexico at this point. But this time they're going pretty much west. Ooh, I'm going to bet that is because I do about right here for the Tennessee Titans. Like right here in the core of the T, like right in the middle, like right there, boom. That's just going to expand, it looks like. They're just going to expand just a little bit more. I'm going to measure out to make sure, but I'll show you the upgraded players when I do. Tennessee Titans keep on getting better and better. The rich get richer. With Tennessee being that rich right now, getting even richer with their left outside linebacker. Sorry, my bad. Right tackle going from a 79 to an 84, kicker from an 80 to an 85, and D tackle from an 81 to an 86. Tennessee's minimum player now is in the 80s. 100%, like they're 82s. A lot of 82s is what we're seeing right now, and the team's only getting better and better. I don't know if anybody at this point can stop them, but teams got to try it at some point. And just give you an update, look at the map. They obviously gained a little bit of territory, got a little bit better. We'll see what happens. But hopefully I'm rolling them again. We need to see some variety of teams here. Roll them again. We're on top 5 teams here. Arizona Cardinals, Miami Dolphins. Cardinals. They need to avoid the East for now unless they really want to get their butt stomped. But Northeast may be okay. A little bit more in the Northeast area. Nope, it's not. It's not going to be at all. I just realized, they're pretty much surrounded on all sides except for a matchup maybe in the West against Chargers. But no, Arizona's heading to Tennessee. The face-off against the Titans. This could be a big game for Arizona to win, though, if they can somehow topple the Titans. And right now we have a game. We have a game with Arizona leading 31 to Tennessee's 27. Tennessee has the ball 3rd and 6 on their own about 36 or so. And to 4th down, they will have to go for it. It's 4th and 6, and this is for Tennessee to stay in this game, at least more than likely. Their defense could still pull off a miracle, but they need a conversion right here to stay in this matchup. A touchdown is the only thing to keep them in this game. It's a catch. It's a runaway catch. It's a runaway catch. A touchdown. It is a touchdown from Tennessee. Oh my gosh. Intense. We love to see it. So Tennessee with a minute 35, a lot of time on the clock, unfortunately for Tennessee actually. Minute 35 is a lot of time. 34 to 31. Arizona can get within field goal range. Field goal range ties it and puts them to overtime, giving them a shot even in overtime. A touchdown wins them this game, and man, this is going to be crazy. It's going to be really awesome to see. But Tennessee could still stop them. Tennessee's defense is the best in the game currently, 99 overall defense. While Arizona's offense has been struggling, but they've been putting up some points with those big runaway plays. And if they just can get one of those off, that's all they need. Just get within field goal range. They got 4 downs to do it, convert. 4 downs to do it, convert. That's what Arizona needs to do, march down there. Get within about the 35. Probably in this game is probably a good range. Probably a little bit more than that. Ideally 30. Probably be recommended. But a little screen pass, getting some yards. We do have some Mari Raleigh. Tennessee has suffered from a lot of injuries here today. Marvin Harrison got injured earlier. Don't know if he's back necessarily. It's been suffering a little bit for Tennessee. Luckily, their depth, thanks to the great starters, actually is pretty good as well. Arizona completes the pass, and they are now converted to a first down. Minute 15 left on the clock. Arizona once again throws the ball away. Minute 12. Not really throws the ball away. Throws the ball, almost get intercepted, actually. It's more accurately stated. Arizona 2nd and 10. Almost at midfield, pretty much. Throws it a clear pass into the 45 zone on Tennessee. Well, 46, it looks like. Minute left. Timeout. Arizona's calling timeout to make sure they have plenty of time on the clock to work with here. Tennessee could have a lot of time here. So, even holding to a field goal, having a chance to respond with their own could be also good. Almost picked off once again after a drop pass by Arizona's receiver. This is getting really intense for both these teams. This really coming down to the wire here. One more first down conversion puts Arizona within possible field goal range. Oh, nice little clean pass from Arizona. Arizona does call timeout since they did get tackled inbounds. Not quite within field goal range. About 5-10 more yards they could use to get into comfortable range. Almost a sack, but instead it's a completion up the middle. Arizona is lining up real quick. 40 seconds left on the clock. They are milking every bit of clock left. Tennessee will not have a chance to respond. It looks like all timeouts have been used. It seems like unless Tennessee's just letting them milk out the clock. Unless they have that much confidence in their defense. Tennessee's going to lose this. Or not lose this necessarily, but go into overtime. Which will cost them this. So Tennessee's playing to go into overtime. Arizona's playing to possibly go into overtime as well. But they have a couple shots at the end zone they are able to take if they so choose. 13 seconds left on the clock. I am talking oh, it's a breakout. Arizona just scored a touchdown. 8 seconds left on the clock. They get an extra point. Tennessee will have one shot to respond. Otherwise, this game is well and truly done. Tennessee, the juggernaut of this whole matchup, could be taken out by the Arizona Cardinals, the last team to be involved in any movement in NFL Imperialism Madden 2003. This could be the upset of the game. Arizona could put themselves in contention for the NFL Imperialism title. All they have to do is stop about 1, maybe 2 plays from Tennessee. All they have to do. No touchdown allowed here. They got to play back and they got to play smart. What will Tennessee do here? 5 seconds left. Long pass. Right up the middle. No timeouts remaining. 0 seconds left on the clock. 38-34 is your final score. Tennessee's packing and going home. Arizona has just taken the reins away from Tennessee and is now standing tall in its NFL Imperialism Madden 2003. Holy moly. Upset of the game. Upset of the game of the lifetime for Arizona. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately for Tennessee, doesn't matter how far you go. Only matters where you end up. And Michael Strahan has ended up in Arizona as the addition from the Titans to the Cardinals, as well as the Cardinals had made some very minor additions or minor attribute changes to the corner and the D tackle, going from a 62 to a 67 and a 61 to a 66, respectively. With that also stated, Cardinals now own the map. This is a big change of pace here because the Cardinals overthrew the Titans, who on average probably had a 90-ish roster of overall players of main starters. A lot of injuries probably prevented Tennessee from consistently keeping the game, and Cardinals came out on top. It's just simple to the point. Shows you anything can happen in NFL Imperialism, and we are down to our final 4 here today. And as far as I'm concerned, we still have a couple more spins we have to do, as I have to begrudgingly take off the Tennessee Titans, who served as a big titan of this whole NFL Imperialism so far. And we'll land on Miami Dolphins, and we'll immediately have a game, because if you see the map here, Miami has no expansions, only one opponent. Cardinals are going to prove their grit against Miami in Arizona. Well, if you saw this a little bit earlier, the Cardinals actually had a very hefty lead, like 24-3 or something like that, something very similar. It actually got interesting for a moment, and then right when I was about to record, Dolphins threw an interception that led to a touchdown for Arizona. So it got very uninteresting very fast, because I was within like 2 minutes of the game being over. I think 2-minute warning just happened. But it looks like no matter what Dolphins do here, I mean, they're already facing off. Can they even really get a touchdown here, to be honest with you? Doesn't look like it. Arizona's playing up to expectations, and being another opponent like this is going to be really good for them in terms of their ability to beat the other teams. I mean, they're the final 3 now. As long as the Dolphins do not do something miraculous right here, the Arizona Cardinals might actually have a big shot at finishing this off. With Miami eliminated, at least the 49ers and Chargers left in the wake of this whole thing. Ideally for the Cardinals, they'll get a couple more expansions. Ideally, they would have got some already, but I mean, taking over the Dolphins are a very good shot. I mean, all they got to do is kneel it out. Cardinals are now over 34-27. Not enough really timeouts to really make any difference for Miami. So the final score will be 34-27. Oh, well, not too shabby for a team that was really, not in the matchup at all. Not really in these fights or really too involved at all in NFL Imperialism up until the Titans matchup. So good for the Cardinals here, now taking over all the territories, leading in the final 3 teams. And the Cardinals are making some substantial moves at the very least, with entering Warren Sapp to the defense here, which should quite help the defense of the Cardinals here. Big upgrade from 33 points for the Cardinals. As well as a 5-point upgrade to the 64 overall fullback and the 63 overall left outside linebacker. So the Cardinals are getting up more and more up there, more in the prime position to maybe face off against these 2 other teams, I should say. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 more teams left remaining. We have the San Francisco 49ers, the San Diego Chargers, and the Arizona Cardinals. We will be spinning this for our last round possible, with the San Francisco 49ers now have to go somewhere, and it's either going to be expansion, it could be a fight, it could be a lot of things, but what will be, it looks like it's going to go out of bounds. I will check this real quick. It did go out of bounds, so we are now spinning again. Looks like it's going to be straight east pretty much, and it's going to be, I'm gonna guess it's North Dakota, but I'm going to check for you. It's going to expand either way, but I'm pretty sure it's North Dakota. I think 49ers already go ahead and improve their team. They're already a really good team, from a middle linebacker of a 70 to a 75, or outside linebacker from a 70 to a 75, and the kicker from a 69 to a 74 overall making the team quite nice, as well as a nice little expansion for the 49ers in terms of territory, and it's making it even that much closer to the Cardinals' overarching territory, who might be actual big juggernauts to take on at this point. With that said, with that expansion, we do have to spin for another team, considering we have to find a actual matchup, and the Arizona Cardinals have a chance to either go ahead and make a matchup or to go ahead and expand and improve their team even more. It's a little bit East Coast here. Don't think there's any immediate teams here. Roughly going from here, looks like it's pretty much nothing going out southeast at all. So pretty much anything south is not going to be useful for the Cardinals here. So we're going to keep on spinning until we roughly get something south, or not south, I should say, which again, we got south once again. So we're going to keep on rolling, which we're now getting northwest, and I think that will be an expansion. Not too sure exactly which one, but it is going to be an expansion either way. I mentioned this before, the 49ers did take over North Dakota, and then the Cardinals have expanded to Wyoming. And of course, with that expansion, gained the Cardinals a couple bit overall boost from a left outside linebacker to a 68, from a 68 to a 73, a right outside linebacker from a 69 to a 74, and the cornerback from a 67 to a 72, the secondary cornerback, I should say. And leaving out mostly overall 70 minimum starters, with a couple in the high 60s at this point for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals are looking better shape as they move forward, and obviously with the landmass, they are really taking over, and with some high overall players on their team, they might just be able to pull off the heist of the century, going from the last team to go to the team that wins. So whoever knows. With that said, though, we do again have to find a non-expansion game with the Arizona Cardinals going once again. They'll spin anything pretty much south again. It's pretty much done. I'm pretty sure southwest doesn't do anything. Yeah, anything. Basically, you need like a south, like a more west southwest kind of deal. But that does not look like it's going to even get close. So we're not even going to entertain that again. South again. We're going to keep on rolling until we not get south. Southeastern, I guess, could have worked. Nah, so it's got to be somewhat like that. Now again, that is still pretty much pointing to Mexico. So we're going to keep on rolling until we get it. There we go. That is something. Now, what is it? I'm not too sure. That could be easily an expansion. It looks like it's going to be an expansion, or it could be a game. I guess you'll find out in a couple seconds. This was the closest call I've had to make, because the Cardinals logo is kind of jagged. So, like, I went with about the middle ground, somewhere between, like, that black. So this little black part, part right here, and a little bit under. Kind of went a little bit under the little black part here as a nice little middle ground of about the center of the logo. It's roughly right. I mean, you could go a little bit more in the red, you can go a little bit lower, judging by the eyes. I kind of made my own call. It was an expansion by just a hair with the place I decided to go ahead and call. But it really, I think most of the places you could have called would have led to an expansion anyway. So I just ultimately said, expansion works the best so far. With that, they do upgrade their fullback from a 69 to a 74, right end from a 69 to a 74, and the strong safety from a 71 to a 76, leading to all of their team members now being, all the team starters today, being now in the 70s, leaving the Cardinals to really improve the roster against two good teams still left in the NFL Imperialism. But again, we've had 3 expansions, and we have not had a matchup just yet, so we need a matchup from one of these 3 teams, 2 of these 3 teams, I should really say, because one of them will be involved. 49ers, I think, no matter what, they will have to face somebody here, whether it's the Cardinals or the Chargers. I'm going to check out where exactly that is. Whoops, that's the wrong place. And it looks like it's kind of just going out. So we really just need a southwestish to an eastern. So anything kind of west, even kind of like a mediocre southwest. It's not really going to do much good for us here. So we got to spin again until the 49ers either land on the Charger or the Cardinals. So we will have a matchup here. And it looks like that just might be it. It's going to be a close one. I'm not too sure whether that's exactly going to land. But we're going to find out. And I'm going to take it from pretty much the middle of the the San Francisco. And I'm just going to do it right here live, because I don't feel like cutting anymore into the recording. And it looks like it's easily hitting into the Chargers, leading the Cardinals to be the first team going to the championship. Yeah, that's easily into the Chargers territory, it looks like. Of course, using my mathematical formula that is of precise calculations, and totally not just a random paper that I just grabbed and put it on my screen. That's probably not good for my screen, honestly. But it will lead to the San Francisco 49ers going to San Diego, California, take on the Chargers to see who's going to end up in the first ever StraightA NFL Imperialism Championship. The Arizona Cardinals have punched their way in, and we'll have a matchup against the other team. Just for also some clarification rules of the finals. Once this game ends, there's no expansions. It's going to be deciding who's going to be a home and who's away. Once we have our 2 final teams, Arizona Cardinals have improved as much as they're going to at this point. There's no expanding into those other territories. All I'm going to do at this point is kind of give each of the team members their respective territories. So anything that was within their territory, I would have gave to the winning team of the left side. And the Cardinals, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the spots over here as if it was their territory, even though they're not getting the expansion. And we'll discuss more when we get to that. But we still have to determine the other winner, because we can either have an AFC versus NFC type Super Bowl or an NFC versus NFC pure championship, even though the AFC led for a lot of the time for the championships. Either way, we'll see you in the matchup of San Francisco 49ers going to San Diego. And we're coming back with a hurry-up San Diego Chargers, 1:40 left, down by 4, making a nice little last drive effort to see what they can do. A touchdown will win them this game. The field goal will not. They cannot settle for a field goal, essentially. 2nd and 7, 3rd and 7 now with 1:24 left on the clock. This is going to be a hard-fought battle for San Diego. 49ers defense is very good. San Diego's offense needs some work here, so we need to see a lot of miracle plays from San Diego to really stay in this. And that first down does kind of do it. 1:16 left on the clock. Hurry up, no huddle. 1:11 left. We'll see what they can do. Hurried up, a drop screen pass will not continue the play with 1:07 left on the clock after that play. Very intense matchup for the final spot. San Diego's really lining up to see what they can do here, while San Fran really has been in this matchup in the NFL Imperialism quite a bit, while San Diego's kind of made some off appearances. Well, with a quick slant pass, San Diego did just call a timeout at the minute mark, but they are well within field goal range. But field goal again will not do anything here. With about 19 yards in the San Fran territory, that will give them their first down. And a sack will not help that cause at all. A quick timeout for 57 seconds left. San Diego has to do something. A touchdown will win this game, but San Fran needs to stop them before they can even get close. Either run out the clock or basically just stop them before they can even get into the first down mark and do a turnover on downs. 3rd and 16. Lots to go. Lots to go here for San Diego. 44 seconds. They have a lot to do. 4th down though, but they do gain some yardage. 4th and 8, so a little bit more manageable. Not quite as much. 33 seconds left. Pass down the middle. It's a first down. 26 seconds left. First and goal. 22 is counting down for about 5-yard line or so. They do call their last timeout. Maybe a little too improper there, but 19 seconds left. They have to find the end zone one way or the other. Probably going to be a lot of pass plays here to see if they can find it. Oh my gosh, a drop screen pass does not help that at all. 17 seconds left. 2nd and goal. About 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards to go here. About 4 yards, I guess. 4.5 probably yards to make it to the pass. End zone 5-3, triple coverage there. Don't know what the Chargers were thinking there, but they have 3rd and goal, 14 seconds remaining. Time is pretty much irrelevant at this point because San Diego either wins it here with 3rd and goal, 2 more plays basically, or they lose it here with a touchdown. They get it. It'll be 16-13. San Diego leading. San Francisco will have about, basically after kickoff, about 9-8 seconds to make a play, or hopefully kick return if they actually successfully do that, to get this all tied up. They have to get in the field goal range to take this over into overtime. We've only seen one overtime matchup so far, but San Francisco would not mind taking that again. With the kickoff here, this will really determine a lot. Good advantage here for the kicker, sending off deep into their own zone, but it'll stop. The clock will stop around the 8-second mark, giving San Fran maybe 2 plays. Either one really long play or 2, really, quick plays possibly, or 1 quick play and a longer play, depending how you look at it. 8 seconds remaining. San Fran last-ditch effort just to do something here. Big pass, drop though. 4 seconds remaining. Pretty much Hail Mary time to see if San Fran can pull off a miracle, though it's not looking likely. It's looking like a San Diego Chargers versus an Arizona Cardinals NFL Imperialism final. No drop pass. 1 second left on the clock. They do have one more shot. One more shot to see if they can do a miracle of some sort. They cannot settle for a field goal anymore. This will be in Hail Mary for the end zone. Will they have enough time? Enough time. Does come down with the ball. 0 seconds remaining, though. Won't matter. 16-13 is the final score. Chargers move on. 49ers have finally fallen. And we have our finals, people. We have our finals. But first, a couple map changes. The Chargers did just get significantly better to the receiving core, with Terrell Owens now being added to the Chargers team, the last edition actually. And the Chargers did improve their left tackle from a 70 to a 75, and the middle linebacker from a 69 to a 74, leading to both these teams into some very solid, very possibly even playing fields, with the Chargers now going into the finals of NFL Imperialism. And with that, we had the final map as well. Of course, I gave the Cardinals all the territory on this side. Chargers didn't have any blank territory to take over this side. I didn't give it any improvements. Again, it's just purely for aesthetic and saying, okay, now that we're going to the final matchup, they can both draw the lines, draw the battle lines, and attack. And right now, the Cardinals hold a significant advantage of where the landmass is, but landmass does not matter in this case. Chargers have just an equal enough chance to win here just based on all the stuff they have done, all the improvements they have done. We are now in the finals of NFL Imperialism, the San Diego Chargers and the Arizona Cardinals. Let's find out who the home team will be. Let's get rid of the San Francisco 49ers. Whoever this lands on will be the attacking team. So we're going to spin, kind of boom. Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. Boom. San Diego Chargers will be the attacking team. That was a little bit more of a poor spin. I wanted to be, I kind of wanted to mix it up and just spin it, a lot more. But the San Diego Chargers will be going to Arizona to face off against Arizona Cardinals. Here we are. The Chargers will be attacking the Cardinals, as I said before. The overall of the Chargers are 86 overall with a 76 offense and a 99 defense, while the Arizona Cardinals are walking in with an 82 overall team, 74 offense, 93 defense, slightly downgraded from the Chargers comparatively, but still very close matchup in the overalls. And the Cardinals have proven that, hey, we can win mixed up matchups. Let's go with it. Beside the point, let's get to the game. You'll be in the final moments to see this game determiner thing. NFL Imperialism Madden 2003. This has been a thrill of a time. Let's get right into it, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and everybody else who's watching this. I'll be honest, I wish there was a more exciting ending to this, but San Diego did lead for most of this time for 27-24. And they did have the ball for quite a bit of time. Arizona really couldn't get anything cooking in like the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and then San Diego's pretty much had the ball since. And so it really was an interesting ending to this all, but all San Diego has to do at this point is kneel it out. And San Diego Chargers, even though they didn't put a whole ton of work in this whole NFL Imperialism, Arizona did a lot of the work, 49ers did all the work, and then San Diego Chargers came in at the end, face off against Arizona here in NFL Imperialism Madden 2003's finale. Has taken the win at 27-24 in a fairly close matchup still. And I did debate also, thinking about looking back at it, whether I should have showed off the rosters and built it up and even showed the whole match. But I feel like this is a nice little nature of it. I want to still make sure y'all get the most interesting aspects of it. And unfortunately, the ending of this just wasn't just the most interesting game in the world. But either way, we have a winner, and we'll go ahead and go to the board. Well, without further ado, there's no player stealing because the game is already over. The Chargers have taken over territory, all of the United States. The San Diego Chargers have built their empire and have solidified themselves as the first ever StraightA Madden 2003 Imperialism champion and first ever NFL Imperialism champion on StraightA, period. And congratulations to them. A lot of fun matchups happened here today. A bunch of stats that we got to accumulate and put together. But in fact, the way we're going to end this video, before I get off and everything, I'm going to show you, bring you to the stat board where a future me who's compiled all of these will make some interesting stats and interesting outlooks for them all. I'm going to, whatever, it's fun. Where basically we could talk about what happened, what the stats look like, what the standings look like, and stuff like that. And it's a really fun way for me to kind of keep a track of how teams do over time and see how things go. And we'll keep it for each year, for each game, for each round, stuff like that, where we'll make it very interesting. Beside the point, though, we'll go over all the stats there, and basically future me will take over and conclude this video, conclude the outro for this video. But either way, this is the San Diego Chargers are your champions for Madden 2003. Oh, something also kind of to consider for the stats. It will be kind of accumulating the stats of what it looked like for just this round, as well as a quick stat look over of all the stuff that's kind of changed for an overall stat collection. Once we have more games, that will get more interesting, and future me will explain more. But either way, move on to the stats now. Thank you, past Dawson. Here's future Dawson, or present Dawson, depending on how you're looking at it, here with the stats. And before we get to anything, first I want to apologize for the long video of NFL Imperialism. In future versions of this, I will try to cut down on the talkative part of me and try to keep it straight to the point, because I realized a lot of explaining was done in this video. So this will be the explaining video. Anything else will be referred back to this video. Going forward, though, we're going to try to keep this as contained as possible and fluid. But just also show you, this is introducing the Excel sheet that I'm going to be using for this entire series. This is going to be me using logging all the wins and losses, putting all the wins and their ratios right here. Their total points for and against them, the away and home statistics, so for each team specifically, but also for them as well. I'm probably going to put a space there. That way I have an easy way of telling all that. But, and then also the divisional placements, divisional wins, conference stats, stuff like that, and then when each state was claimed. That's pretty much all the stats I could think of that I want to collect, and I'll probably collect them for each Madden, for each game individually, but also for each year, for each round. Who knows? It's going to be kind of a future thing, as well as I kind of want to do scoregami. I don't know, I like scoregami, so I just kind of quickly made this one and logged all the games so far. And so that's kind of the current state of the scoregami. So in case you're kind of curious, there you go. If you want to screenshot that or do whatever, that's kind of the current state of it all. Beside the point, we're now going to get to the award winners and stats presentation. Whoa, you can't see me anymore. Well, yeah, just to make sure you're able to see all the nice little graphics and stats and everything, I decided to just go ahead and remove my face cam anyway. PowerPoint works really weirdly with just a solo, even with just 2 screens. I only have 2 screens, I don't have 3 screens, so presenter view and all that kind of messes me up just a little bit. So I'm still going to be expressive and still going to be awesome in that regard and explain some things, but I'm going to quickly do it, and you won't be able to see my beautiful face while I do it as well, so sorry about that. But here you go, the before and after pictures of the NFL Imperialism. Pretty good, little statistic. Just also show, of course, the winner, the San Diego Chargers. Congratulations to them, conquering the whole entire map. So, boom, bada bing. Here's the current leaderboard. I'm not going to do any flashy graphics with all 32 teams, but obviously the Packers came in 32nd, the Buccaneers came in 31st, and the Redskins came in 30th. Notably, all NFC teams. And then you got the Ravens, Cowboys, Jets, Raiders, Rams, Eagles, Lions, Saints, Bears, Jaguars, Texans, Vikings, Falcons, all rounding out the bottom half. Moving on to the second half, though, or the better half, I guess. The Browns, Panthers, Bills, Steelers, Broncos, Bengals, Colts, and Chiefs make up the next 8, while the top 8 going from 8th the first. The Seahawks, Giants, Patriots, Titans, Dolphins, with the crown jewels of the bronze medal going to the 49ers. The silver medal, or gold in this case, I guess, the Cardinals, and then of course the gold medal goes to the Chargers. So 49ers, Cardinals, Chargers, and 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, respectively. So congratulations to them. But nice little leaderboard. I'm going to keep track of this the whole time as well. Banger of a game. So we have awards we're giving out for each NFL Imperialism, as well as probably just keeping a cumulative award as well. This presentation will also be utilized for like cumulative awards, maybe at the end of each round or at the end of each few games or whatever. So I'll do like leaderboards like this for future ones, and we'll keep it to the relevant ones. Either way, banger of a game goes to the Cardinals at the Titans, 38-34, with a total score of 72, making it the highest scoring game of this NFL Imperialism. The snooze fest, the lowest scoring game, was the 49ers at the San Diego Chargers, 13-16, making a total of 29 points. Still not too bad for game, actually, so to be honest with you. Next up, Camera Shy, the last team to make an appearance, which actually worked out pretty fairly well for the Cardinals, going in 2nd place. They were the last team to appear, and they appeared in round 27. So good for them, but they were a little camera shy. Star of the show, the most appearances from this NFL Imperialism. No shocker here. The Tennessee Titans really made good on their name, but they really got ambitious and came in 5th place. So take that as you will. Bloodlust, the most eliminations by far, was 6 by the Tennessee Titans. Really started conquering people and really star-studded their team, honestly, with even 3 or 4 expansions. I believe 4 expansions from what I know, or no, 3 expansions. So take that as you will. The big-time player, the highest average points for per game. So the team who scored the most average points per game. I decided not to do it by total score because then I'll just give it to the Titans again. So this is per game. The Detroit Lions, 34.5 points, having some really big-time players and really big-time offenses. While down bad, the lowest average points for per game was the San Diego Chargers, who ended up winning anyway, so it really didn't matter. 16.75 total points. So they really just kept it low scoring, kept their defense on as the main players. So speaking of defenses, the defensive struggles, highest average points against per game, which these won't really matter that much because if you get that many points scored on you, you probably lost. But the Packers had the most points scored on them at 39, again by the Detroit Lions, funny enough. While defensive might, of course, the lowest average points against per game, 14.5. No surprise here with the Chargers, being one of the lowest points for. They had to have pretty low points against as well. So good for the San Diego Chargers in that regard. Meanwhile, the hometown hero, the most home games played by the Tennessee Titans, most hometown games played in general by the Tennessee Titans, of course, with 6 total home games, which good for them. They went 5-1 in that regard. The traveling nomad, most away games, the Dolphins took that with 4 in this case. And then no claim here, states not claimed or fewest claims. So again, this is very ambiguous for the cumulative ones in the future. But in this case, Delaware, Maine, New Hampshire, and New Jersey were not claimed in this video. And the home versus away stats. So the home teams versus away teams. The home teams actually lost 15-16, while the away teams actually had a 16-15 win-loss ratio against them. So away actually really did a lot here, but still pretty middle ground here. So I guess there's not many, advantages for home teams in these earlier games. Meanwhile, we have a divisional breakdown and showing all of the divisions each one does. I do realize the screenshot I have of the Steelers, Bengals, Browns, and Ravens in this case is has a little what's called a little logo there, so I'll probably have to retry that one, but beside the point, not a big deal. In first place, the 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks with a 9.5 average placement of their teams, 4 wins total with 8 expansions. The next up is Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, the 12th placement average with 4 wins, 3 expansions. The Jets, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, 12.75 placement, 4 wins, 2 expansions. Colts, Titans, Texans, Jaguars, 13.5 placement, 9 wins, 3 expansions. And of course, most of those wins were actually really pulled by the Titans, then you get the Steelers, Bengals, Browns, Ravens for 17.25 placement average with 4 wins, 1 expansions. Big drop off here with the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks all having a 21.25 placement with 0 wins, 2 expansions. Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins for 22.5 placement average with 4 wins, 4 expansions. And then finally, the Vikings, Bears, Packers, and Lions really pitted against each other pretty well with 23.5 placement average with 2 wins and 0 expansions. So really rounding out that bottom there. So this is kind of divisional breakdown that way if you're curious about any of these stats. Obviously the highest eliminations were from the Colts, Titans, Texans, and Jags. Meanwhile, everybody else pretty much tied except for the NFC South and the NFC North. So take that as you will. Meanwhile, here's a conference breakdown. The AFC easily had the most wins with 21 wins compared to 10 from the NFC. But NFC did have more expansions with 14. Meanwhile, AFC had 9. And that pretty much concludes everything there. I guess, here, I'll go back to this one at least. And actually, you know what? We'll go back so I can turn on my camera so you can all see me as I, try to adjust the camera here. Boom. Back in the top right corner now. Boom, bada bing. Thank you guys for watching this NFL Madden 2003 Imperialism. That was a little bit longer of a video, but I hope this little stat breakdown was a little fun and good little pick-me-up from the end of this. And I promise future videos will be a little bit shorter. Please enjoy the videos and please enjoy the content we create. StraightA Dawson, out.